Good Lord, I tell you.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
two everyone into
Oh,
turmoil, Stu, and not uploading the show.
I know, at like 30 seconds after we finished
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah.
Good
Oh,
Lord.
Malaria.
everything's going crazy.
Just like, calm the fuck down,
What's
will you?
happening?
The
Jesus
malaria.
Christ.
Hey, what's
And
happening?
then the waters got muddied because someone went, well, I listened to the show and the first whatever minutes. Well, I can't see it. Why can't I see it? And I'm like, because they listened on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
People
Right,
take the
we
show
ready?
seriously. I'm
I
ready.
know. Tell me about it. I'm ready.
You ready, Chinny?
Yeah, we should be live in about 5 seconds or so.
I mean, I show us live on YouTube. I don't know if the sound's working. Should I try the sound?
The sound will be working.
It'll be
Okay.
working this time.
Then we're going to start then.
Go.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
There's no pre-show banter this week, people. We're just getting
No
started.
time.
Welcome yo to
Yeah.
the veteran gamers.
So, as you guys gonna ask me about my hat?
Game that you playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with soundbite saviors.
Haktur,
It's the veteran gamers.
haktur,
It's the veteran gamers.
haktur,
It's the veteran gamers.
haktur.
It's the veteran gamers.
If you want more of the Duke, both my albums are for sale here, Smooth as Silver and Hi Ho Duke.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Hello and welcome to episode 806 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yeah, 806, baby! And it's summertime. The school year is over. Party, everybody. Come on and get down. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chinny.
And we are not military veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle, people.
And
We're coming
also,
to you live on YouTube.
I looked this up, right? This
Yeah.
episode marks 17 years, pretty much to the day, of
Oh, my God.
Jesus.
this podcasting.
That's
That's
ridiculous.
bonkers.
17
That is
years. We
bonkers.
started in June,
17 years.
and I think
We
to be,
did. I know we started in
it was,
June.
I think
Wrong
to be
with
exact,
us.
it was probably about 19th of June or something like that in 2008. So this
Holy
this is
cow.
pretty
If
close.
we make it to 20 years, I'm going to get myself an actual gold watch. It's like, for 20 years of podcasting,
Yeah, yeah.
here's a gold watch
Yeah.
given to me by me.
Yeah.
Stu already has a
I've-
gold watch, so he doesn't.
I've
need
got a
one.
I've got a new watch. She said, "Do you want to see my new watch? This is my
Ooh,
summer
of
watch."
course I want to
Summer.
see your news
There you
watch.
go. Look. I don't know whether you
Ooh,
For the audio
it's hard
listeners-
to see because you're moving it around
For
and it's
the-
very
can...
dark.
I'm trying to
but
get in.
For the audio listeners, it's a watch.
it's a watch. It's
not-
definitely a watch. All right, just tell us about it. We can't really see much from what you're shoving into the camera. Tell us about it.
It's called a perfectly useless afternoon.
And how much did a perfectly useless watch cost you?
Not a lot. And it's a dude on a rubber ring in a swimming pool. So that's that's.
So does it
the,
actually tell time?
It does. It does. So
Oh, okay,
I don't know
good.
whether you can see this. So
No, I can't see it. You have to describe
So-
it. We can't see anything.
So
It's a
it's a
dark
dude-
aqua blob.
it's a dude on a rubber ring in a swimming pool, and basically he's reading a book. By the
Okay.
way, and his foot is the hour marker, and then there's a little rubber ducky going around the outside edge, and that's the minutes. So there you go.
Okay. Well, that's very cute.
It is very cute.
Congratulations on
So
your
that's
rubber
my
ducky
summer
watch.
summer watch.
Yeah, summer watch. You got a
yeah.
winter watch and a fall watch and a spring
I have.
watch?
I do have winter.
All your watches have springs in them.
This one doesn't. It's quartz, by the way. I don't usually buy non-mechanical watches, but
Yeah, fuck that shit.
it's just a bit of fun.
Pieces of
A
shit.
bit of fun.
Yeah.
Don't have to wind it up or anything.
Yeah.
Who knew? It's
So
the
how you
future,
doing? Everybody all
apparently.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have got some news. I've got an update.
Okay.
Oh yeah, what's that?
I am going in for my operation on the 13th of August.
Oh,
so I have
wow.
got
Oh,
an
boy.
official date to
That's
have
exciting.
it done. Well, I don't know whether
Yeah.
it's exciting so much as...
Nerve-wracking.
Yeah, someone's going to stick a wire in my heart. It'll be fine.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, don't worry about it.
that's-
Well,
so
good luck with
is-
that. Keep us posted.
Yeah,
Hope
so
everything
that is
goes well.
happening.
Stu, have you thought about not worrying about it?
I've tried that. It doesn't...
Just don't
doesn't
worry.
work
Just
that way.
stop thinking about it.
Yeah. Interesting thing though, when I have it done, I can't lift my arm above my shoulder for 4 weeks.
Oof, you'll be like John McCain.
So I'll be one arm. I'll just have one arm that's useful. So I'll have to.
Well,
get
I'm
used to
guessing
that.
it's
There's
your left
a lot
arm,
you
you
can
can't.
do without lifting your arm.
Also, here's the interesting thing though. Like my microphone, I might have to move this or do something. I'm not entirely sure what yet because I
You
can't
get
have
too
it
close to it.
within 15 centimeters of my box, which unfortunately is kind of level with where my microphone normally is.
Or you can lie down with your face toward the mic and your
Yeah.
chest pointed away, like a little snake. You just be
yeah,
like,
I have no
video
idea, but
games."
I'll have to work it out.
How about mobile
"Yeah,
phones?
Good luck. You put it above yourself.
Mobile
maybe?
phones I have to use on speakerphone, and if I can, if they're a bit near.
Right.
So it depends on which side of my head I listen on.
What about headphones?
Headphones are okay as long as you don't hang them round your neck.
What about DJ kit?
DJ kit is fine. Again, it's more speakers that are the problem.
What about a
So it's
Steam
anything
Deck?
with Steam Deck should be fine as long as it's 15 centimeters away.
You
What
just
about
need to make a list of things and have your doctor.
what
I
check.
know,
about a
yeah.
Nintendo Switch 2?
Again,
we could do
15
this all day, but
centimeters
this
away.
isn't
Oh, I'm
necessarily.
sorry.
content
Is
people
this
tune
is
in
this
for.
less
the
interesting
killer.
than you going "What's up" for 10 minutes?
Here's the kicker, though.
Hey, that
Here's
was
the
before the
kicker.
show started. That was pre-show banter.
All right.
Here's a kicker. So we were
What's the kicker?
we're having a new kitchen at some point,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
and I decided, obviously, modern kitchen. I'm going to have an induction hob.
Oh yeah.
Obviously. What the hell's an induction hob?
That's why you don't
So-
feel it when you put it on and it cooks it, right?
So it's when it comes in contact with the metal, it goes hot.
Yeah, yeah. You can put
So
your
they're
hand on
kinda
it.
cool.
You can put your hand on it and it won't. Yeah. The hob.
This is a stove
the
top?
hob.
Yeah, yeah,
stove,
yeah. It's called an induction hob.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
fancy. They're fancy.
So they're kind of state of
Okay,
the art.
great. Okay.
Unfortunately, they use massive magnets to work. So,
Ah.
so it's a kind
Now
of
you
a
gotta get a
no-no.
different kind of hob.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Well, good
Yeah,
luck.
so that's a bit of a bugger.
Yeah.
So,
It's funny. I did a search for induction hob, but the top Reddit post says induction hobs are one of the worst modern kitchen devices I've ever made.
Oh, maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, really.
I've used them. They're pretty
While you
cool.
get instant heat, this person says it's not continuous. It pulses. This means you cannot get a nice simmer going, as it's basically switching off and on continuously. Now, maybe this is one model. I don't know. This top, well, whatever. I don't want to just read
I do
Reddit. That's
prefer.
also
I mean, to
boring.
be fair, I do prefer gas. But
Yeah. Especially when it comes
where-
out of your ass.
Exactly. But where our gas supply currently is wouldn't be in the right place because we want it kind of in an island. So we
yeah,
want
yeah.
the
Hype it
hob in the
underneath?
island. Possibly, but that's a bit of a doozy when you're messing around with gas.
Yeah.
I hear you.
But you could probably do it, but it's going to be costly.
Well, we hope it goes well, and keep us posted about your kitchen renovations.
Yeah, well, that's not for a couple of years yet, so yeah.
Okay.
Be
Well.
alright.
Yeah. Chinny, your week, you came back from holiday, and you've had a week to adjust.
Yeah. Everything. I mean, Rosa
Yeah.
Rosa hated me for the first 2 days this week for some reason.
Did you
Yeah,
have
why is that?
post-holiday blues?
I don't know. She just decided like I don't like you anymore.
no.
And she
It's
was
not
like,
that- that's not
Daddy,
good.
no. And I went to pick her up, and she was like, no. So, but apart from that,
Did
it's all
she
fine.
kick you in the willy though?
She has done that before.
Yeah.
Usually when I'm
But on
changing.
purpose? Did she kick
Not on
you in the willy
purpose, no,
with
she hasn't.
intent?
It's groin!
Oh, I shouldn't hate you that much.
No.
at so many levels.
She's never done it on purpose, but yeah, she's.
Well, so you think.
she's when I'm changing her, she's done it, but no.
Nice.
So I don't know.
A little privacy here, Dad.
Pretty normal
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Pretty normal week.
Foot in the willy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
And I got done with all my school stuff. I got all the grades posted. I went to graduation parties, and then we went out for brunch for the first time in several weeks. What? So it's been a good weekend.
Well, I'm on holiday next week, not this week, but the week after.
You barely worked,
Sweet.
you.
I know. We're going.
right.
We're doing though. I told you about this, Mr. Chin.
All right.
Yeah,
oh,
he told you
yeah.
about
You're
it,
doing,
Chinny.
you're
Come
doing,
kinda
your
doing a
trip
road
to Shrewsbury,
trip.
aren't you? Or,
Shrewsbury,
Yeah. You want
Cotswolds,
some men from Shrews?
Stratford upon Avon, Matlock Bath. We're doing the whole hog. We're doing
Yeah.
a
Do it,
circular, going in
Yeah.
everywhere kind of do.
He's going everywhere, man.
Apparently, I found out something about Shrewsbury recently. Apparently, it has the most historical buildings in the country.
Sure.
So get ready for a history report when he gets back.
History report, because it's apparently a very historical place.
So are you going? When are you leaving?
Monday, so a week tomorrow.
Okay, you leave tomorrow and you come back before next show. We don't need to
Yes.
find you a sub or
No,
nothing.
no.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of interesting because we come back on
it done?
Sunday morning.
Oh, okay.
So we go a week. So we're actually only going for 6 nights. So it's 6 nights. So we'll
Okay.
get back Sunday.
Well, we appreciate you being around
So
for the show.
I'll be here. So I'll take the
Not
Steam Deck.
Sacrificing, yeah. You'll have
to
stuff to
ensure
talk
we,
about.
yeah, to ensure we've got stuff to talk about. I will play some
Great.
games. Play some games.
I'm glad to hear it.
Very good. Is that it? Are we done with shit
I'm
talk?
done with
guess
my
so.
intro. Are we
Yeah.
ready for games?
Yeah, let's talk about some video
Where are you
games.
going?
Story time's over. Isn't
What
it?
you been playing? Boring.
Oh, you're ready to play.
Batman? Kiss my big Springfield behind.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so here's the thing,
Yeah.
people. Look, it was
Yeah.
Next Fest. It's been
It
Next
was.
Fest. It is Next Fest.
Oh,
This
God.
is where Steam puts a whole lot of
Oh,
demos up
God.
for play.
So
And
we
I
all
got a
make sure we
million to
play
talk
loads
about.
of games to talk about. Even Chinny does it. This, you know, he's into
Some
this
of
forgot
us
it.
have
Next
more
Fest too.
time for
I
this than
forgot
others.
about it. I forgot about it.
And some of us care more than others.
Yeah, some of
Chinny
us
doesn't care about
more.
Steam just in general, which is fine. He doesn't have to care about what we care about. He's just stupid and wrong.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So it looks like you and I have about the same number of games. There,
We
Steve.
do. I played a lot.
Yeah.
I have more.
Go
I've
ahead.
got more to
You
play
go
that I just
first.
haven't played yet.
Yeah, I got some too that I
Uh,
haven't played, and I bought 2 games this week that I ain't even ready to talk about because there's so much Next Fest. I can talk about the new games I've bought anytime. Antonio
So-
knows what one of them is. Anyway, go ahead, Stu.
So I'm going to talk about the one that it's sort of one of the favorite games I played, actually.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Totally ridiculous. It's called Baby Steps.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Baby
I've heard about
steps.
it. I've heard about this.
So,
One.
Is this based on What About Bob?
No. So,
Okay.
so Baby Steps is basically a physics-based, completely ridiculous walking simulator.
You had me
Is-
at Walking Simulator.
It is the is the best way to describe this game. I'm assuming it's Australian or New
Dude,
Zealand
this guy looks like Chinny.
because the voices. So it's
He walks
basically
like me as well.
the concept. The concept of the game is that you're a 35-year-old man-child who's never left the house, plays video games all day, and basically doesn't get out much. So very bit
I'm
socially
starting to feel
awkward.
a little bit targeted.
You are seeing, Chinny. This is a game that speaks your language.
So you know you're a bit socially awkward.
And you live on the
And-
side of a volcano or something? What,
No.
where are
So
you?
it does a bit of another world scenario. So you watch you're playing a new video game, and you press a button and then get sucked into the telly. So you end up
Okay.
in the telly, and this is where you get sort of teleported to. Is this weird other land place that you have to navigate?
Yeah.
Okay.
And amongst like the game, I'll describe how the game works. By the way, I haven't really described that.
This looks like QWOP.
It is a bit like WAP. So your feet, obviously, to control your legs, it's left and right trigger,
Okay.
and you move forward using the left stick, and it really is that simple. So it's
Is
sort
there any
of
reason why you have to keep the hat on?
no, you just find stuff,
Oh, okay.
you know, as you're going through the world. And he's so, like I say, he's very socially awkward, and you meet a dude, and he's proper in your face. So he's like, "Hey, how's it going, dude? How'd you get here? Do you want me some help?" And your character's like, "Oh no, thanks, man, I'm fine." So you're kind of
That
very.
doesn't sound like he's
awkward.
socially awkward. It sounds like it's the proper response to somebody who's being obnoxious and demanding to know how,
And then
how
he's
they can
like,
help you.
Or as we call
Okay,
them,
mate.
Americans.
Yeah, no, he's Australian. He's Australian.
Yeah, with the
the dude.
person, the obnoxious person. I don't know. Yeah, go on.
Oh yeah. No, the obnoxious
Yeah.
person's an Australian. So anyway,
There's no
so
obnoxious people in Australia. What are you talking about?
exactly. So he's like, no, it's fine. And he's like, okay, I'll leave you to it. If you need anything, just give me a shout, and then just disappears. And it's very funny. You know, it's got kind of a lot of comedic moments. And then he comes, you sort of manage to finally get out of this cave you've been deposited in. And he appears again, like literally from the side of the screen, just comes in. Hello, how are you doing now? And you very awkwardly say, hey man, I need to go pee. I need to find somewhere to go pee. And he's like, oh, what about behind this bush? So it is, it's just pretty funny. I like it. I like it a lot.
So the nature of the game is I gotta go pee, and he says behind this bush, and you walk awkwardly behind a bush to pee. Then
correct.
Like the game is to get around Quap style,
Yeah, so
isn't
the
it?
game is there's
What are you
like
trying to
beacons.
get to?
There's beacons
okay, there's
of
beacons.
light,
I gotcha.
and basically the game is get to the next beacon.
Okay.
From what I can gather, so you've got to navigate the world, which obviously gets more and more increasingly difficult because you've got to balance on logs and like sort of go up posts to get to higher places.
Yeah.
But he's pretty good. I mean, his legs lift up way more than you'd expect.
Oh,
So when you're walking along, it's
Which is, I believe, also the selling point of the new GTA game. The main character's legs lift up real high.
And once you get there,
These game journalists aren't asking the real questions, Stu.
That's right.
It looks very awkward, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually not that bad. I got quite quick at it, and then every now and again you'll like make a mess of it and end up like flat on your face.
I mean,
or flat on your back,
hey,
or
to each
sliding
their
down
own.
a
Like,
hillside.
if you find it fun, that's cool. I think when I played QWOP, and then when I played, what was it, Total Realistic Delivery System or whatever it was, like the Surgeon Simulator, there's a lot of games that are sort of built around this idea of like, it's very hard to control. I reached a point where I was just like, I want a game where it's easy for me to control the character.
No, I think, do you know what I think is quite cool about this compared to all those other games? All those other games are deliberately difficult. Even if you think you're doing in the right direction, it'll do something like wacky to stop you doing it.
Yeah.
Whereas this game, once you get the sort of hang of it, it's actually quite easy walking. It's when you have to then start negotiating steps or posts or so the actual getting around bit isn't that bad. If you take your time and you're careful, you can get used to it quite quickly. But I think the challenge comes when you have to negotiate more difficult terrain.
I'll be honest with you, Stu, when I loaded up the footage, I thought I was looking at Death Stranding 2.
Well, a lot of people have compared this to Death Stranding.
It is a game where you have to move around.
I prefer to
from
play
place
this
to
than
place.
Death Stranding. This would make more sense.
Yeah, but do you have a oil-covered baby in this game? No.
Do you have a figurine hanging off you that's in stop motion for some reason?
No, but he's carrying a trophy for some reason, and he has a weird hat on. I don't know.
Is Guillermo del Toro in it?
Propeller beanie. Yeah, really.
Not that I've noticed.
Well, then it's the shit game.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But
I'm glad you had fun with it.
It was kind of fun. Whether I'd have fun with the full game, I don't know. No. But I have put it on my wish list. I thought,
you
why
wish
not?
listed this, huh?
I wish listed it. Why not?
See, that's the thing. A Next Fest is like you can find stuff that is going to go on your wish list, and you find stuff that you might have wish listed if you hadn't played the demo, and then you play it, and you're like, bleh.
Yeah, I'm not putting it on my wish list.
Yeah, right. A demo can be a double-edged sword. You got to be careful, developers.
But yeah, so far so good. I liked it. Right, what about you?
Baby Steps. That's that game. So I played a game called Bitcraft. I played 3 survival demos here.
Okay.
3 of the same genre of game.
Of the same genre. Because here's the thing, for those who don't know, Next Fest just has like hundreds of demos. It's just an embarrassment of demos. And a lot of them...
a variety of games rather than just...
Why would I want to pick a variety? What am I going to pick a walking simulator? I know I don't like that genre. I'll pick a visual novel. I know I don't like that genre. I could pick a battle royale game. I know I don't like that genre. So, I mean, look, fair enough. Yes, I am a person who just dwells in a few types of games that he likes. But that said, horror games aren't my jam. And a lot of the games on Next Fest were horror games. So, whatever. The point is that the first part of the winnowing process comes in deciding what to download, because you don't want to spend time downloading a game you're pretty sure you aren't going to like. So anyway, Bitcraft, as soon as I got into it, someone in the chat was like, is this like Albion Online? And someone wrote, yeah, but without the stupid PvP. So for those who don't know, Albion Online is an MMO where the main part of the game is gathering stuff. And this game, the main part of the game is gathering stuff.
No, really?
Yeah. But like not just for yourself, it's for the larger like economy. So the idea here is that I don't know if everybody's on the same server, but a lot of people are on one server, and the idea is that you're actually building a local economy. so that people at a certain point aren't going and getting their own sticks and rocks. Instead, they'll pay you to gather sticks and rocks, or you can sell them for a very small amount, and then you get some money, and then you use that to get other stuff, and so forth and so on. It's left click to move, which is not great. I don't love that mechanic for control.
Oh, so it's like
top
point,
down.
what point where you want to go, and then just click.
Yeah, instead
Yeah.
of WASD, which I'm so
Yeah.
used to WASD at this point. It's just like the standard
I think
way of
I
going.
think the PC Master Race call it WASD. If you
Right.
Yeah.
I prefer WASD.
Yeah.
It's very small text. There's both active and passive crafting. So some things you make at a workbench, some things you take to a loom and you set it up and it just starts going. One of the first things you have to do is make yourself a cart so that you can cart around more supplies instead of just carrying a big load of sticks on your back. And that gives you an idea of what you're doing there, is like getting a whole lot of little things. And then there's like 10 different kinds of crafting stations in this little town. And you have to like go to this one to chop up the wood into planks, and then go to that one to refine the wood, and then go to this one to make the
You
nails.
know, I see these sorts of games, and I think like the developer, if they have a publisher, how did he sell it? Did he go like, "Hey, I've got this idea for a game, you know, like it's not been done before." So yeah, you're crafting stuff. You've got kind of a village, and yeah, there's a big map, and there's other people in the game.
That can't be the
and
only
stuff.
selling point of
That's,
Big
pro-
Mac.
that's
No, but-
probably
no,
that's
but I'm
probably a
just saying,
start
how
though,
do you
Stu.
s-
That's probably
how
how
do
they
you
sell
s-
it. There's no
How
talk
do you
about it.
sell this game though? Because it's been
Yeah,
done
what
a
do they say?
million
Look,
times
what
before.
sells a lot of games? Survival craft. Okay, fine, let's do it. What are you going to do differently? Well, there's these sort of like champions who
You see,
are,
even
know,
you're
like
struggling to find
something
something different.
I was trying to figure out a way to describe them. I'm not going to defend this game. This game is like about Albion Online. There's no doubt about it. But here's the thing: there are these like big characters that look like something out of Spirited Away, who are like, you know, the guides of the land, and they're like, here, go do this, go do that, and they give you little quests and stuff like that. So, you know, I think it's going for scale. It's going for, you know, communal experience, and like you can set up your own town when you get enough resources and stuff. So it's trying to give people this sense of like you're all playing in the same world. Now, is it fun to play? No. So it's very in depth, and you know, look, as I think it might be free to play. I think the idea is that, yeah, they get you hooked with the crafting and the intricacy of it. And some people really like that very intricate kind of crafting. Just like some people like a really hardcore survival type game. I'm not into that. I'm not really into this, but it was an interesting experiment. So, thumbs down on Bitcraft demo.
Thumbs down. Oh,
Yep. Sorry.
that's no good. Right, Chinny, have you got anything to talk about?
Oh,
or
you
shall
two
we
carry
just
on
keep
for a bit. I've
bouncing?
got Doom, but yeah, you two carry on for a bit.
Okay. Stu, what's next on your list?
I'll talk about something because there is a game we've both played, so I'll save
Yeah, there
that.
is.
I'll save
Yeah.
that. But
It's
in
coming,
Next
people.
Fest,
Don't worry.
It's not all little tiny indie games you've never heard of,
That's
believe
right.
it or not. And one of those not so tiny games is Monument Valley 3 had a
See,
demo.
I didn't even
out
know
in
this was
Next Fest.
out on
I
Next Fest. I would
know.
have played this if I had known.
I thought you
I
would
like
have done. I
Monument
was
Valley.
surprised I didn't see it on your list.
Yeah, well, I'm full
Um,
of surprises.
I know.
But
so
see, that was surprising.
I would assume most people listening to this show know about Monument Valley, or you would assume so.
If you don't, here's what it is. I'm
Oh,
not going to say
okay.
it. You go ahead. I'll let
It's
you do it.
basically an Escher-esque puzzle game.
Yes, it
I
is.
suppose is the best way to describe it. So it's all about perspective. So it does
Yes.
there's a lot of cool mechanics where you have to move the blocks within the game to make pathways to get to the end point, I guess is the best way
Right.
to
It's a
describe
puzzle
it.
game. The aesthetics are gorgeous. It was originally
beautiful
designed for
aesthetics.
the phone, so the PC version is like mostly vertical, but it also uses the rest of the screen well.
Yep, beautiful music, lovely
Yeah.
to look at, really whimsical, I guess is a good word for it.
And fairly interesting story, I remember in the first one.
Yeah, interesting storyline. And this is, I'll be honest, I've played the whole demo to the end, and you get like 3 levels.
Okay.
And it is more of the same. It's basically
sure.
just more of the same. Nothing too complex. I must admit, I've sort of raced through it, but then, you know, I played the other 2 games from start to finish. And it's just lovely to look at, you know. And there was nothing too taxing. I didn't get to a point where I was like, I'm not sure where I need to go now. I mean, I've worked it out you know, I'm not trying to say I'm an intelligent guy, but I worked it out pretty quick. You know, I was sort of on with it.
Cool.
Just
Yeah.
cracked
I still
on,
never
really.
played the second one. I gotta play the second one of these days.
Neither. I mean, none of these games are usually particularly long. I mean, the first two were probably about 2 or 3 hours, weren't they? At maximum
right.
4 hours.
Sure.
But this is kind of cool. You've got a. I don't know whether you're trying to unite people, but you're like this beacon of light, and everybody's coming to this tiny little island.
Yeah.
And when you go in the lighthouse, that's where you get the levels that you need to complete. I'm hoping it's a bigger, more complex game, because the other two were kind of mobile based originally, so I feel
Right.
like they were
Level by level.
kind of small, little bite sized games. Whereas this, I mean, it's a long time since. I'm not sure when it came out, but I feel like it's quite a long time since
It
Monument
has
Valley
been a
2.
minute. I'll find out.
Yeah, find out. So I feel like this will be a bigger experience, you know, with more complex puzzles, because it seems like they've been working on it for a long time.
The second one came out in 2017. So it's
Yeah,
been
I knew it'd been fucking
8
hell. I
years.
didn't 8 years.
That's
I
a
didn't
lot,
realize it was quite that long.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's beautiful. I loved it. You know, I think it's a really good taste. There was nothing I hadn't really seen in the other two games, so there was no new mechanics that I haven't seen before. But
Right.
I feel like it's gonna have that.
Yeah.
You know, part of me feels like. I mean, the only thing that was different. There was like the final puzzle you do is broken up into 3 parts in like a flooded area, and you have to go between the 3 to solve it.
Right.
On this like little boat that you have.
I mean, it looks
So,
like
yeah.
they're launching it on Steam, Android, Google Play, and Apple at the
Yeah.
same time, which makes me think that it's also going to be mainly vertical, one screen at a time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they are going
Yeah.
to take it as big as your average PC game. I don't know.
We'll just have to wait and see. I did think it was kind of cool. The only minor complaint, I played this with a controller and it felt quite clunky.
Yeah.
I think it would have been way easier to play with a mouse, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I think it's designed to be tapped and yeah.
Yeah, it was with the controller. You had to keep on like.
See, it's
It was a bit fiddly getting the cursor
right.
exactly where you needed it.
sure. I feel like I default to mouse and keyboard. You default to controller, and then you
I
use the
do.
keyboard if you have to. Whereas I use the controller if I have to. Or if it says this game's better with a controller, I'm like, all right, fine, I'll use my controller. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I feel
Otherwise,
like
I want to save
should
it for Rocket League.
Yeah, I should have definitely used the mouse. It would have been way quicker. I mean, I'm watching this dude
Now
do
we
it
know
with a
for
mouse,
next
and
time.
it's like, yeah. So if I do, well, I probably will play the full game of this. I will.
Doing it with a mouse. You like
I'll be
that
doing
mouse?
it with a mouse. Yeah. I'll be doing it
Yeah.
with a mouse. But yeah, very good. Big
Yeah.
thumbs up for Monument
It
Valley
looks
3.
good as always.
It does. It does. I reckon if the demo's still available, I'd recommend giving it a go.
Yeah, I should do that. I will. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't promise
So it's
nothing,
good.
but I don't see why I wouldn't.
There you go. That's
Okay,
my
so back to me
second
then.
game.
I just want to say
Right.
in the chat we got Mr. Nightlaw. He said, "Hello guys, I've been listening.
Nightlaw.
Been listening for a year or so. I can't believe I've never found you earlier. Better late than never, I guess.
That's right.
It's
Thank
only
you.
taken you 17 years to
Yeah,
find
really.
us.
That's okay. People find things when they find them.
No, it's not okay. Okay, do
Right. So one of the other games I played on Next Fest is a crafting survival game. Can you believe it?
Oh, that's interesting because that's a genre that's
Isn't it,
sort of outside of your expertise, isn't it?
It's really unusual for me to try, and it's called Voyagers of Nira, and
Oh, and it
I
also has a
think-
very catchy, rememberable name as well.
It does, very catchy. But it's better than Bitcraft, to be fair. So Voyagers of Nira, the emphasis is on setting. The setting is very beautiful. You're on this kind of like island. One of the first things, you make your standard axe, pickaxe, whatever. You're gonna chop down trees, get stones. But it's WASD to move, and it feels much more sort of arcadey than Bitcraft. And you make your home and your bedroll and your campfire and all that. But then you make a boat, and you're going from sort of island to island, and so you need different resources that are on other islands and stuff. There's a day and night cycle. It's a lot more fun than Bitcraft, and there's this sort of spirit thing that you rescue at the early start of the game, and then you build like a spirit shrine, and the game kind of revolves around that spirit shrine, so that you're trying to save other spirits that are out there on the different islands and bring them back to your shrine, and then they thank you by giving you more powers. Yeah, it seems like a proper combination of sort of RPG and survival, exploration, open world type stuff.
The way you were describing it was like Stranded Deep, which is one of my
sort of
favourite
Stranded
games.
Deep-ish, but a
this
little
is
more
a lot
cartoony.
more cartoony, Fortnite looking.
It is more cartoony.
but also
there's like
stupid.
monsters in the water.
Oh right, okay.
Okay, well, if you
There's
find it stupid,
monsters-
that's cool.
There's monsters in the water on Stranded Deep. They're called sharks.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying though, these monsters are. The combat is not as good here, probably, as in
This is
Stranded
more. This
Deep.
is
It's certainly not
more-
as realistic.
This is more like spiritual, isn't it? And like
It is more spirit based. Yeah, exactly. The monsters are basically like glowing.
Yeah, there's a
rocks
floating
that come at you and
stingray
stuff like
following
that.
you around, for example.
There is a floating stingray that follows you around. That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't finish the demo, so to speak, but I did go find this boss, and he was level 10 and I was level 5, so it was hard for me to take him down, but I eventually did. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't expect to like this one very much, but I did end up liking it.
Would you continue playing it?
I might. I mean, like I said, I kind of quit the demo at a certain point because, it can be annoying to do a lot in a demo and then get the game and then, have to start all over or whatever. But, I had a good time. I put it on my wish list. I don't know that I will buy it right away, but I had a good time with it. And, the boat mechanics are pretty interesting. You get near the boat and then you press E to get on the boat, but it's not just steering the boat. You have to run back and forth to the sail and then set the sail up and then run back and steer it. And then when you want to stop, you let go of the steering, the rudder, and then you run up to the thing. So it's meant to be played, I think, with friends, but who has friends, right? Weirdos.
Oh, all right.
Losers. So and then there's a way to fix the boat when it gets damaged, as it does when you hit the rocks or whatever, but I couldn't figure out how to actually fix my boat. So if I were to play it more, maybe I could get my brain around that, but I was like, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
But there's this sort of technology tree. You can see what you're going to unlock later on. I had a good time with it.
For
It was fun, it
the
was
audio
straightforward,
listeners, just
intuitive.
imagine every game that Duke has ever described.
It does.
Sorry,
That's
Duke.
exactly-
Sorry, not to
but-
shit on you,
but
but
with-
like.
But
it
with
does
more
look-
That's
basic
fine.
graphics.
It looks like
there's the
Fortnite,
thing.
but crafting and stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing is that there are a lot of crafting games, but surprisingly few of them have actual, like Valheim isn't. The combat in Valheim's not great. The building in Valheim isn't really very good. The world is very deep and very interesting. So, I want a game that has really satisfying crafting and combat, which this game has fairly decent combat, not great, but the crafting is really good, the building is really good. So it's about, the different games offer different levels of, tweaking and satisfaction with regard to those different, aspects. So,
Yep.
hey.
That
Thumbs
is
up on Voyagers of Nera.
Is he making?
I
Is he
like this
making
one.
a hot tub there? Is that what's
I'm
on
not
screen
sure what
currently?
exactly. I think it says Ocean Shrine, but I
It
don't
looks
know
like
what
a
to
hot
that, so I'm
tub.
not sure what it
Looks
is.
like a
Yeah.
stone hot tub.
Hey man, you know what? Cavemen in the middle of nowhere want a hot tub too.
Yeah.
It makes his own bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of gas in the kitchen.
Speaking of gas. Okay, well, I'll carry on. So
Carry on.
I'm gonna go with my next. Well, actually, it probably is the most disappointed I was with a game.
Okay.
Which was a game called Henry Halfhead.
Okay.
And I really like the look of this. The concept I thought looked really cool. But oh my god, in actual playing it, yeah, not good at all. When we played that T to a T game the other week, where
Yes.
you kind of a kid stuck in a T pose all the time,
That's right.
and we said, "Oh, this is aimed at kids. We're not really the audience for this."
Right.
Well, I kind of felt the same with this game.
Okay.
Because
What kind of game is it?
it was like a game made by a 5 to 7 year old TV producer.
Okay.
That
You
has
know,
not
for-
helped in any way describe what this game is.
Well,
Is it a puzzle game?
I'll tell you what I thought it was, right? I
Okay.
thought it was a puzzle game. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be cool. So you've got to, so you can basically possess stuff.
Right.
So you're
Okay.
called Henry Halfhead, and you can possess objects to do stuff.
Okay.
So, for instance, like in the demo now, you'll see you can possess the ball and become the ball and roll around and stuff as a
You're
ball.
you're in like a nursery room that has like
You're in a nursery
nothing
room.
in it. There's a window, there's a door, there's a crib, there's a ball. That's it.
Well, every time you solve a puzzle, like or possess something, then you get the next bit to do.
Okay.
So you can.
So the
you
next-
you can go into like shapes at the moment.
Correct.
Like
Put
balls and
so you put the
square.
ball in the round thing, and then you're gonna put the triangle. You're gonna possess the
Correct,
triangle.
like you
put
do
that
as a
in the-
kid.
This
But-
is literally all I do with Rosa is put triangles
Exactly.
into
Okay, well, don't you
triangle
want to do it in a
halves.
video
Exactly.
game
Yeah,
too?
yeah, yeah.
But what you don't get with like just watching it silently is the narrator.
Oh, there's a narrator,
Who-
right? Okay.
You know, what was that platformer with shapes? You know that platformer where you played as a square and he was like,
yeah.
what the hell
talking
was
about
that
Thomas Was
called?
Alone?
Thomas was alone.
Thomas
yeah.
Was Alone.
Yeah, that was a good game.
The narrating is I feel like it's trying to emulate that. So it's like Henry was in his crib trying to be quiet so he didn't wake his parents up.
Right.
Ah,
But Henry was naughty, so he wanted to get out of his crib and do stuff and go and explore in his room. So it's all that. It's all like that, but it's really badly done.
Oh.
You know, when something's not really very well done.
yes.
The mechanics are fine, but it was boring. There was nothing that. It was really basic. Everything was really basic.
Yeah.
And then when he like, and it goes through his age, and he's like, "Oh, Henry's 3 now, and it's his birthday today, but he's impatient. His parents haven't come to set the table. Maybe you should do it." And
Yeah.
it's that sort of thing. So then you start setting the table and like putting the cake on, getting the cake and putting it in the middle of the table and setting the settings and all that stuff. But here's the thing, right? I feel like this game is obviously aimed at kids. You know what I mean? Because it was very basic. There was absolutely nothing that was remotely complicated to do.
Yeah.
But
But I
part
get the
of
sense
setting-
that like the mechanics of it feel like it would be hard for anybody
Yeah.
under the age of like
exactly.
10 to do the actual thing that's
Exactly.
being done.
That's the
So
trouble.
like, who is it for?
I don't know. But here's the other weird thing, right? So you set the table, put your cake on. You can put the candles on the cake, and then you can get a box of matches and light the candles.
Yeah, now we're talking.
And I'm
Do
like,
that, kids.
Whoa, who is this
Yeah.
aimed at? Because like little kids shouldn't be messing
Yeah.
about with matches. What the fuck is this
Well,
game?
stupid little kids shouldn't be,
teaching?
but you know, if you're a cool kid, you should totally be.
You know
playing
what,
around
Stu?
with
You wrap
matches.
these kids in bubble wrap and they're
I know,
not
yeah,
ready
well,
for the world.
Oh, so
I
far.
gave-
Oh, here's a box.
I let Rosa fill the lawnmower with petrol the other day.
Nice.
But you didn't
Did
let
she have
her
a good
drive it.
sniff? Did she have a good sniff while she was doing
It
it?
was weird because it's not even a petrol lawnmower. You know, I don't know what she was doing.
Here, Rosa, have a sniff of this.
Have a
it's
sniff
good
of
for
this.
you.
Lovely.
Oh,
Have a
do you
drink.
feel a bit dizzy?
Don't
Woo.
drink it, Rosa.
But yeah, I really don't know who this is aimed at, and I don't know. I actually got to the end of the demo, and it was like, you know when you said before about some of the games persuading you not to wishlist them?
Yeah.
This was definitely one of those games. I was just like, I feel like someone's come up with an interesting concept, but then had no idea where to actually go with it.
Yeah. Right. Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Because the concept is cool. You know, you're this,
But it's
cool
executed very
thing.
well, isn't it? It looks
Yeah.
like really well
and the
made.
physics work well, and the going in and out of stuff is fine. I just don't know. I was just like, and there was nothing charming about it. Like the narration was a bit wooden. You know, no offense to whoever did the voice acting. I mean, it could be the developer. It might be just a one man does everything thing. And I know what he was going for. Like he was going for that Thomas Was Alone vibe,
Yeah.
but just didn't pull it off. You know, it just didn't pull it off.
Right.
It felt like a tech demo.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It didn't feel like a fully fleshed out game. It just felt like he had some ideas on what to do.
Well,
but
it feels
wasn't-
like they're throwing a lot of stuff into the mix and like hoping that you.
Like, yeah,
a
this
good
is a
time
thing
with
you
it, I
could
guess,
do.
but-
This is a thing you
Yeah,
could do.
right.
This is a thing you could do. But none of it really fit together in a good way.
Wow, nothing
So-
seems. Yeah.
So, you know,
Meanwhile, this
thumbs
dude
up
just
for the
unlocked another
effort.
puzzle, and it's like he keeps doing this other one. It's like, stop it. Move
know.
on to the other puzzle. Jesus.
Yeah, that's one thing it did do. If you sort of almost got to where you needed to be with a puzzle, it just unlocked the other one anyway. So it wasn't
great, move
frustrating
on.
in that sense. Yeah, you could just
Yeah.
move on. Yeah, and it's like, oh, you could draw stuff. You could be
Cool.
drawing.
Draw Wang.
Drawing. Actually, I did that. Of course, I did. Because it is going to be done. Yeah.
I think this
so,
is one guy, Stu. I've just had
Yeah,
a look.
I
I think
do.
it's one guy.
Who made it?
A company called Lulu
Lululemon.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I admire what he's come up with.
Lulu Games.
It's just that it sucks.
It's not that it sucks because, like I say, mechanically everything works fine. You know, it works really well.
Yeah.
But I just feel like he hasn't come up with something complex enough to utilize the mechanic. You know, or something interesting to utilize the mechanic. He's come up with really basic things.
Right.
You know, that I could have come up with.
No, it can't be the. I don't think it's the person. Is it an English accent that you hear?
Yeah, it's totally.
It's made in Switzerland. So,
Really? That's
yeah.
a shock. Because he's fully like English voice actor.
So maybe there's a few more people, but hey ho.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's in
But-
the chat. The person who made it, and he's just said he's crying.
Is he crying?
Yeah.
Is he crying?
I've spent 7 years working on this, and you said it's terrible.
Yeah.
It could do better. It could do better. It's just too basic. It is weird.
Hey, if
I
you're
don't
not
know
if you're
who
not
he's saying
feeling it,
that.
you got to say it. We got to keep this show
Yeah, exactly.
honest.
Keeping it real.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too basic for me, and I feel like it'd be too complex. For
unless
his
you pay us, and then we'll
audience.
say
Keeping it real.
we'll say
Keeping
anything.
it real. So there you
Yeah.
go. Thumbs down. I'm afraid.
Thumbs
Sorry.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
dear.
my next one is one that I really enjoyed. It's called Super Loco World, and this is a train game, which is pretty basic, but it was fun. Like it did what it did very well. I don't know why they built it around this mechanic of like, there's this machine that can pull islands out of the ocean. Like, why do
Nice.
you need that?
I
I don't
like that.
understand that part of it, but whatever.
Wow, what's
so,
up with that? It's kind of cool.
I mean, it just feels like an artificial way to say, like, here's an area that has wood and wool, and like, okay, deal with that. So anyway, the idea here is that you have like your home station, you know, like the town, and then you have to connect the trains to, you know, this area where you get the, you know, the food, the corn, and then here's this area where you get planks, and then you have to, you know, like you set up the switches so that you can paint the trains different colors. That's one way to set up the switches. Another way is to say, you know, yeah, if there's nothing in the carrier cars or whatever it is, then it goes this way or that way. Once it was a little confusing to get started, but once I got it started, it was really nice to like just sit back and watch it run
So
as it picked up.
Is it kind of like it's like a moving shit round game, isn't it? Is that
It is a moving shit around game. Yep. You basically have to get the corn and from over here and bring it to town, and then you get the planks from over here and bring it to town. You make enough money in town, then the town grows.
Yeah, and you
And
can make
so,
more
you know,
shit to move it
And
around.
you can make more shit to
see.
move around, and then you get all the resources on your one island, and then it's like, okay, pull up another island.
Yeah.
And it takes money to build the bridge for the rail across the different islands. So for a while I was just letting it run so I could have enough money, and then like I'd build one part of the bridge and then I'd be out of money again, and then I'd wait for it to build up and then build another chunk of the bridge.
Was
It's
that
like,
did that
I
take
almost have this bridge.
too long to do? Or was-
It took a little longer than it should because I was very impatient. So whatever.
Yeah.
But it also lets you go into debt because you have to like service the train every once in a while, right? So you set up a little service station for the train, and when it goes by, if it needs, gas or whatever, it'll take care of it. But again, the graphics aren't amazing, but they're good for what it does. The gameplay is pretty intuitive, and the main thing about a game like this is the logic structures of it, right? Like you can set it up as like I said, if you have a split in the track, you need to switch it. If you don't want to do it manually every time, which you don't, then you have to set up like a logic gate. Okay, it'll aim to the right unless it has a green train, in which case you switch to the right.
Just a minute, Duke. Hold on a bloody second here.
Yes.
This is like all those other games you play, in it, but just disguised as a train game.
Yeah, but this one's got
In
a
what
new
way?
hat.
I know it has. It's got a new hat, man.
Well, I mean, it's a logistics game. Whereas a lot of
No,
other
this
games
is a
I play are
logistics
survival
game. Yeah,
games.
this is a logistics game. Shit, this
Well,
is not.
kind of, and resource
Nah,
management.
yeah,
I suppose,
but
and
like, no.
automation.
I mean, are you saying it's like a
No.
factory game like Factorio?
Yeah.
yeah,
In that
yeah.
sense, I mean, it's sort of similar in that sense, in that you're building tracks.
This
Yeah.
is a
So,
game I
yeah,
could
it
get
has
down
things in
with. I
common
could
with
get
that.
down with this. I could get into.
Well,
this.
there's a demo. Maybe you could.
No, I'm not
wishlist
going to
it.
play it. That's mental.
It's Factorio disguised as a train game. That's what
It's a
this
very
is.
basic, management game. Yeah, but you're not putting things together. That's the difference. So
I suppose it's a more basic and colourful. I suppose
it's
a
very
bit more
colorful. It's
cute. It's
I
cuter
didn't
looking.
expect to like it. I'm part of my love of train games is because my dad was big into model railroading, and today's
Oh, yeah.
Father's Day in the U.S. So
Yeah.
whatever. So whatever. Like I'm just drawn to train games in general. I'm usually not very good at them, but whatever. This, and I think that's part of the appeal for me in this is that it doesn't, train simulators like I'm not trying to learn how an actual train works with all the different parts to it, and you're engaging the brakes an hour before you get there and all that stuff. This game is from a distance, right? It's sort of Railway Empire, but it's much less complicated than that one.
Yeah.
So I like it. It hits
looks
that sweet
alright.
spot between cutesy,
So-
but not too cutesy. And it's fun to play, but it's not, there's stuff for you to do. It's about expanding, but you're not just instantly expanding.
So you said your dad was into model railways, etc.
That's correct.
So was it like? Did he used to have like a room dedicated with a
He
whole
did.
thing set
He
up?
took our garage and bisected it, and then
Nice.
built a big model railroad set in the garage. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And that was painful when he passed. Is to have to go in there and like sell off the railroad, the train cars.
I bet it was worth some money as well, right?
Oh yeah.
The pieces were, yeah, but a lot of it he had built himself with like foam and like spray paint,
Like
and
scenery and
that kind of
all
thing.
that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah,
and
exactly. He
hills
really put a
and-
lot of love and devotion into it. When I saw the Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode where Terry makes his Terrytown.
Oh, yeah,
And Holt's making like a standard railway junction with nothing on it. Terrytown, yeah, it reminded me a lot of my dad's like setups.
Do you know we have a park near us where they have a miniature railway, so not like model railways, so you can ride on it, but they're like tiny steam trains and all that kind of stuff. But we were there the other week, and there were two dudes on miniature steamrollers, just like trundling around the park with people on the back, and they have they're so cute, and they have that little hatch, for where they put the coal in. They've got tiny little pieces of coal that they shovel in there.
Yeah.
To get them rolling, and yeah, they were super cool, and they were trundling across the field. I think they got lost. I don't know whether they hadn't been there before, and they were like trundling across the field. I'm like, where are they going? It's like that just goes like behind the park out into the middle of nowhere. Is that where they're aiming to get to? I don't know. So yeah, there's a lot of enthusiasts around. I don't know whether it's same down where you live, Chinny, but there's a lot of model railways around those and miniature railways and stuff.
We do have a
People seem to be
railway
in it.
nearby, and sometimes a big steam train goes past my office now and again. But I just
Yeah, but no, like miniature railways in
no,
parks and
I
stuff.
don't. Not that I don't know of one. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not something I seek out, Stu. That's like saying,
Yeah.
"How's
Yeah,
the
but kids
local?"
love that. Like Rosa would love that.
Yeah, but
love a
she's
ride on
not
an
even
old
two.
steamer.
She's
Oh, these are tiny, man. The little,
know, yeah, but,
little
like,
tiny
we've been on
railway.
Chinny,
one-
you're a bad father if you don't take Rosa to go
Yeah,
play on.
Chinny.
We've been on
You-
one in Stockport.
you-
There's one at a garden centre on
bad
Stockport.
dad.
Are you satisfied?
Yeah, see, up north. I told you they're all up north.
Yes. Keep them. Keep them up there.
Oh, it's not very nice. Right, okay.
So anyway, super local
yeah,
world, a lot of fun.
thumbs up,
I put
I'm
it
guessing.
on my wish list. Yep, thumbs up.
Cool.
It comes out in July. I'm looking forward to it.
So I'm gonna go on to another which I thought I was gonna absolutely love, but was a tiny bit disappointed with, which is Ratatan.
Ratatan. Isn't this the sequel to Patapon? Isn't it?
Kind of a spiritual
Spiritual
sequel.
sequel.
It's not an
right,
actual
okay.
sequel. So it's
Because I
so
liked
rather-
Patapon.
What was
Well-
Patapon?
Patapon was
Patapon
a rhythm
is brilliant.
platform game. So it's all the little
yeah.
characters went pata 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 pat, and you had to
Patapon.
like one button would be pata, and then the other button would be pon. So it'd be like pon
Gotcha.
pata pata pon, and you do that to like get them
Okay.
moving.
And different things did different commands and
Yeah.
made your little
Okay.
characters do different
So this is
stuff.
Ratatan.
So this is Ratatan rather than Patapon. I'm assuming there must be some of the team who made Patapon making
I think
this,
no,
but
I think it
it's
is. Yeah,
So
I think it is.
so similar. But Patapon 1 and 2 are coming to Steam, by the way. I think they're out in
Lovely.
about a month, less than a month.
I
and
look
I'm
forward to not playing
Everything's
those.
coming to Steam.
wish listed that. Pardon?
I look forward to not playing those on Steam.
Yeah, well, I will definitely be playing those games because it was so. I love.
Oh, I
Patapon.
like the game. It's just Steam, isn't it? It's just
Yeah, it's just Steam. So they've made it into a roguelite.
yeah,
Oof.
Of course they have. Why? Because every other game is that.
yeah.
And you have a limited number of ratatans or whatever the hell they're called. I don't even know if that's what they're called.
Rats.
And the game
Yeah.
kind of gives you just 3 commands, which is rally, so they follow you, attack, obviously to fight, and defend. And that like you get a shield, and that's it through the whole demo. That's the only thing you get. You get what's this like fever thing, but I had no idea how to trigger it. I don't know what it did, why I'd do it. It just
You
came,
gave me
you know, it's
fever.
Yeah,
it's flashing
shoot.
at the top.
I don't want to make you feel bad, but you do sound really old right now. You go.
I am really old.
I don't know
I
what.
had no idea how this worked. I had no idea where it came
No,
from.
I
Things
mean,
were moving around on the screen.
The tutorial was so basic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It didn't really tell you much. It didn't tell you how to do a special attack. It didn't go, oh, when your meter's filled, you need to do this. When you get the fever
That's
meter,
frustrating.
if you
See,
do
I
this,
often wonder
then
if they're
you'll get
making these
this.
games and then Next Fest shows up and they're like, oh, fuck, Next Fest is next week?
There
We don't
might
have
be
time to put
something
together a
to that.
proper tutorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be something to
and
that.
As
then-
it is.
You do get 2 special attacks. I'm assuming it's something to do with that. So there's kind of like 2 special attacks which you use the Y button for. So when I say there's only 3 commands, I'm probably being a little bit mean to it.
Mean.
I'm being a bit mean.
Big
but
meanie.
With your words like knives and
It just felt basic. I leveled up. You get cards to level up. You get better attacks or different types of attacks and stuff like that in between levels. You get more ratatans. You can upgrade. There's like a shop and there's a level up thing. I didn't hate it,
Right.
but I was just a bit disappointed. I think is probably the best.
You didn't
way.
love it either.
I didn't. I was kind of mixed, really. I don't feel like it did enough for me to persuade me to like get the full game when it comes out.
Is the
And
music
I've-
good? I mean, this is
The
based
music
around
was
music, I
kind of
guess?
all right. Music
Yeah.
was kind of okay. Again, I wasn't blown away by the music.
Yeah.
I wasn't blown away by it. Aesthetically, it looked good. You know, I like the look of it,
Yeah.
and it does give you that feeling of Patapon.
Yeah.
But I also felt it was really harsh because I played it for quite a long time, and I got to a boss battle 4 times. And even as much as I'd leveled up my character at that point, was still nowhere near enough to beat a boss.
Right.
I mean, I just got my ass handed to me. I like just about took a quarter of the health off the boss
That's frustrating.
on all 4 occasions. It was so difficult, and I was
Yeah.
just like, and I didn't feel like I was making any progress, even though it's a roguelite and you can buy stuff at the shop and you can do this and the other. It didn't feel like I was getting anywhere.
Yeah.
I think the other problem is having played Patapon, which is amazing. This feels like almost a pale imitator of it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel anywhere near that
It's
caliber.
weird because it looks a lot like it, doesn't it?
It does, but it's very repetitive as well. Like all the scenery doesn't really change much. You know,
Right.
it's always a similar locale. The attacks don't feel like they have much substance. I don't know. You don't feel like you have really good control over your characters either.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. I wasn't blown away.
That's a shame.
So, but I will be playing Patapon 1 and 2 instead
Oh, yeah.
because those games are good.
Very good, very
Whereas
good. Very
this game, not so sure.
good. Yeah.
Sure. All right, Chinny,
Unreal.
talk about Doom, buddy.
No, I don't do what you say. I'm Rage Against
Okay,
the
don't
Machine.
talk about
I'm joking.
Doom.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Tracy, you're going into therapy. You're not my dad. You can't tell me what to do. All right, the one thing you can't do is go to therapy. Screw you. I'm going to therapy.
Yeah. Doom: The Dark Ages. Playing that.
Yeah, but
Yeah, playing that. That's a game. What can I say?
has it
Sorry,
gotten significantly different from last week?
I can't remember.
You're fighting a lot of things with your big old sword shield or your
there's
chainsaw shield.
a lot of that going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just sort of think, like, what else can it give you? Because, you know, the weapon wheel fills up. It keeps giving you guns, like new guns, and you're like, there's no more space on this weapon wheel. I don't know, like, what else? What else can you give me? And then it gives you more stuff, and you're like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, the map that I'm on now, the level that I'm on now, is a little, I don't know, it's a little bit of a slow one. It's another open world one. They've only given me like one or two of these.
Yeah.
And one of those was on a dragon, so that's a bit more interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I did look so I think it's really good. It's fantastic. In fact, I sound a bit negative on it. It's really good, fantastic, very difficult, but really satisfying. Super, just it's like a puzzle shooter, and you have to sort of work it out. And each when you get a big battle, you get a lot of little battles. But when you get a big battle, you're like, oh man, how do I approach this? So I do love it. What I will say about it,
Can I just check? Is the map still good?
is the map still?
Because I understand you really like a good
Yeah,
map.
you like a really good map.
Is that true that you really
Yeah, the map is still good. What I will say about it that's a little different is I you know when you go on YouTube and you get a little video suggested to you, and it was like Doom: The Dark Ages speedrunners. All right, I was like, all right, because it's not been out very long. It's only been out what like a month or something. And there's every game that comes out, every big game that's coming out, there's already a speedrunning community like ready to crack this bitch.
Yeah.
And what was amazing was like they find all these glitches and ways to speedrun it. And there was one glitch that if you open the weapon wheel, the whole game is in slow motion, right? So you open the weapon wheel, it's in slow motion. What's interesting is it's in slow motion, but you can also walk through doors that are closed. So all these doors.
It's amazing how quickly people figure shit
So
out.
they
isn't
quickly
it?
figured out, like, oh, you can just walk through these doors if you just open the weapon wheel, but then it made the speed run of the game quite dull because a lot of the game is people just slowly walking through doors. So then because it's just interesting how speed running for a game evolves because then the community decides that like it's literally like, well, okay, we're deciding that there are now two types of speedruns. There's ones where you restrictions, which is where you can't clip through a wall, and there's one non-restriction. And then it was like, oh, they did this speed run and then this speed run, and there's a way to do this, and there's a way to if you hit the ground at a certain pace and then do a shield thing, you can basically just jump over half the map, and they'd worked out how to skip like half the map by doing these jumps. Just incredible how they figure this stuff out. I just found it super interesting. I would never do it, and for the record, I did try and clip through a door that I couldn't get through, but unfortunately they've already patched that problem. So
Of course, just out of interest, you know, the baby steps I was talking about before,
yes,
they've already got speedrunners. They've got a league table to see how quickly people can finish the demo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those games,
which kind of makes sense because obviously it's
those
really
games are
difficult
sort of built for streaming in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
You know, people make games these days, so they're sort of funny to watch, and that's what Baby Steps is about. But anyway, Doom: The Dark Ages, like it. Didn't play much of it, but yeah, still enjoying it.
Sure.
Sorry, Stu, am I boring you?
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Boring.
Sorry about that.
Boring. No, you're not.
Sorry.
Very interesting.
Shall we talk about
talking about
Play My
very
Game,
interesting?
bitch?
Shall we talk about Play My Game, bitch?
Yes,
Yeah,
we should talk about Play My Game,
let's
bitch.
talk about
Yeah, bitch!
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection. All right, so this game is
So-
called Go Way Back.
Prologue.
And
Prologue.
Prologue.
this
prologue.
is the most important. It's the prologue, right? We have said repeatedly on this show that the circumstances under which a game is made are secondary if they are worth our discussion at all. The question is, how is the game?
Because let's just to preface
Whoa.
this.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Just
Right.
preface it. This is being developed by the guy who made probably one of the most influential and biggest multiplayer shooter games of kind of all time, really.
Yes.
Let-
Player
let's be
unknown.
honest. So Player Unknown, who made PUBG,
He made this game.
made
Brendan Green is his name.
Brendan Green.
Yes.
Is,
And-
this
and
is
we
his
have-
second game.
And we have a movie audio file to really give us a sense of where we're coming from here.
review you had on Shark Sandwich, which was merely a 2-word review, just said shit sandwich.
Oh,
Well, as Stu said earlier in the game, or in the show, how do you convince people to fund these games, to publish these games? What do you say? I have a big map. It's survival. What's the selling point?
it's the selling point of this game is it's the most difficult survival game ever.
It's a
made.
very
This is-
big map. It's not just a big map. It's a very big
No,
map.
no, most difficult
And it's
though.
hard to survive.
It is. I'll talk you through. I played it 3 times. I had 3
Jesus
goes at this
fucking
game.
Christ.
So first
That's
go,
dedication, that is.
First go, right? So you're actually given quite a lot of supplies to begin with. I
Yes,
mean
you are.
that opening cabin, they give you all the shit you need.
You have a
Except
compass,
the-
you have
the
a
first
fire
time-
starter.
Yeah, I didn't take the fire starter. I took a Walkman instead. Because I wanted a bit of music while I was walking, you know? I was like,
Yeah, of
I don't want
course.
to be walking in silence.
And you have a Diablo style, inventory system. So you're playing Tetris
Yeah,
to try
yeah.
to fit things.
And you only
into
have a
the
little backpack, so there's not a lot you can
That's
fit
right.
in there. So that was
That's
a bit
correct.
stupid. So anyway, I set off on my travels, on my merry way. No
Yes.
idea how to light a fire because I didn't bring the fire lighter with me. Didn't realise it was on the table the first time.
Yeah.
Came to this big cabin, right? So I hadn't walked very far, and I came to this huge cabin. I'm like, oh, this is cool, handy. Went in the cabin, massive, and I don't know why it was in there. Huge backpack in the fridge.
Oh, nice.
Right? So,
Yeah.
so big,
Where do
massive
you keep
backpack.
your backpacks, Mr. Bloody?
Exactly.
Really?
In the
Where else are
fridge.
you going to put it?
So I'm like, brilliant. I've got. And I
Are
have
you
a
one of those
torch.
poshos that keep your backpack in a cupboard or
Yeah,
something?
exactly. Huge backpack. So but you can't just transfer your shit to it, right? That because
you
obviously
cannot.
that'd be way too easy. So what I had to do was get all of the stuff out of my old backpack, and then put it all in my new backpack. So I had to then switch backpacks, drop that, and then pick up the new one, and then pick everything up that I dropped all over the floor to get it all in my new backpack. But that was fine. I found some more food. And then I thought, it was still daylight, so I'm like, right, I'm going to explore a bit further, see how far I get. So I went back out of the big log cabin, and I kind of took a straight line down the hill. And I got down the hill, and it suddenly got dark. I mean, it didn't just get dark a little bit at a time. It kind of just went pitch. And I'm not kidding you. In this game, it is pitch black. I mean,
Yeah.
it is. You cannot
pitch
see
black,
it.
yeah.
You can't even see your hand in front of your face. It's that dark. So I'm like, well, that's fine. I've got my torch. I'll just turn round, go back up the hill, back to the cabin, and I'll wait it out. You know what I mean? Then I realised I didn't pick my compass back up when I dropped everything on the floor, so I didn't even have a compass anymore.
Oh, jeez.
I know. So I thought, but that's fine because it's straight up the hill. I haven't gone very far. Could I find that cabin? Could I fuckers like? I was totally lost at this point, and getting colder by the second.
Yeah.
And then it was like, yeah, you've got hypothermia and died. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So what about you guys? How was your first run through?
Jenny?
I was in the wrong frame of mind when I played this game. I was like, I was loading.
You were in the
things-
frame of mind to have a fun time playing a video game.
Yeah, and then I went and I walked out, and I didn't really think about what to take. I didn't know what the game was, and I was like,
Yeah,
right.
Same.
And then I saw another cabin, and I went in there, and I was like constantly scared something was gonna like eat me or fight me or something.
No, I don't think that. I never saw anything.
No, there
other
isn't.
than
I've checked.
yourself.
There isn't.
That's not the nature of this game.
But like,
No.
I was like, oh, is something gonna pop out? Because I've still got PTSD from Rust when a big bear attacked me. So like,
Yeah.
you know, and I was like, no, I saw another cabin, and I went in there, and I was like, and then it got dark, and I was like, I can't be bothered to play this. Like, I just can't. I just couldn't. I was like, I don't have the energy. It was pretty late when I played it, so I wasn't in the right frame of mind. But what I will say is, I felt bad. Right, that I hadn't really given it a good go. So what I did is I did a bit of research. And do you know what the plan is for Brendan Green?
I don't.
Okay, so this you might find interesting, Stuart.
Yeah.
Brendan
Okay.
Green is making 3 video games.
At the same time.
Sort of. Right?
I'm
He's-
assuming they're linked in some way. Then are they?
In a way, yes, but really what this is an experiment. He's making 2 games to lead to the 3rd game. And the 2 other games
Okay.
are just games that are sort of like, he just wants to make them, learn all the things that you do when you make the thing, and then move on to
Interesting.
the next thing. So the first game is this, go way back. The other one that he's making is called Preface Undiscovered World, which is going to showcase the game engine and its ability to explore like large scale worlds. But his 3rd game, and now get this, because you're gonna shit, right?
Okay, I'm
His
ready.
3rd game, because this is Peter Molyneux-esque bullshit coming, right?
Oh God.
And I don't know anything about Brendan Green. Maybe he'll do it, right? And I hope he does. But the 3rd game is called Project Artemis. Is somebody laughing in the
Right.
background? Who's bloody laughing?
Oh,
There's
they're watching the
loud,
soccer.
fun
They're watching
times.
Soccer Aid.
Right, okay, whatever. So the 3rd game is Project...
I think Big Zoo's just scored.
Okay,
Apparently.
whatever. Don't care. Right, the 3rd game, Project Artemis, is going to be a larger, more ambitious project that will build upon the technology of the first 2 and be an Earth-scale world.
Right. So
That's intense.
It's like 1-on-1 scale, guessing.
Not of this world, but of
A world.
like a world. It's going to be...
Yeah, but it'll be like a 1-on-1 scale with our world, so it'll take
No,
you
I-
however long to get.
So
Yeah,
you would
the-
never be able to cross.
There won't be...
around
I
the whole
don't
planet.
think there'll be like an England and an America.
No. But I just mean, like, say for instance, if something's 100 miles away,
It's 100 miles
it will
away.
be a real
Yeah.
100 miles away,
I
not
don't-
like.
And I'm not sure, like,
You know.
will you be able to build a boat, or is it all just land? Like, I'm not sure, but that's the
Well,
jigger.
I think that'll be interesting. I do feel like, I mean, to get to where you need to go in this game, I mean, I never even got close.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a long
Imagine
way
that,
away.
but on Earth.
Yeah. So, how much of this did you play, Duke? What happened in your playthrough?
I didn't realize that I was gonna need things because a lot of times in these games you leave and you find other
find
places.
stuff, yeah.
So
I
I just
thought
went
that as
running
well.
and I didn't see anything except a lot of rocks that looked like buildings, but they weren't. They were just rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kept running and I was running and running and running and
kept-
running and running
Kept
and
on
running.
running.
Well, there are rocks. Thousands and
Yeah,
thousands
there's
of
a lot of
rocks.
rocks.
And so I just kept running. I figure I gotta reach something eventually. No, I don't. I can eventually die of hypothermia. So I did.
Yeah.
And then I started again. I was like, wait, let me look around the cabin. And I picked up all the stuff that you get, the compass and the flashlight and this, tape deck and whatever. And then I went running, and then like there was like a slope, and I was like, okay, I'll go down this. Oh, slipped, dead, fall down.
Yeah, I did that. That was about
Yeah.
my second playthrough. That was
just wanna
kind of
say-
interesting.
This game, I'm done.
Yeah.
So
Because second
that was
playthrough,
my
I
experience
got-
with this game.
I got the one with the really steep slope. So you come out of the cabin, and it's kind of straight into a valley, isn't it, underneath?
And then I was like, okay, I want to know why people are excited. I mean, I knew who was making this. And that's why I talked about the
Yeah.
conditions under which it's being made. But, the actual gameplay, I went looking on the Steam discussions and like, they're like, oh, it needs to be optimized better, and it's a little hard to find sticks and this. And I was like, what the fuck? What? If anybody else made this, and all the discussions would be, this shit fucking sucks. What is this? Yeah. And there were a few like that, and they were immediately down. All the comments were brigading. Yeah, but
what you've got,
you need to understand, this is going to be amazing. This is not anything's not even pre-alpha. Shut the. I'm like, dude, okay, well then don't show me if it's not something that I can play.
What you've got to understand though, Duke, is this game is going to be amazing. What the hell are you talking about? No.
You know what? If people feel that way, they're allowed to, but I don't have to like it, and I mean that's a good thing because I did not.
On a serious note, what you've got to understand is there are people out there who love hardcore survival sims. They live and breathe these things. So
and
if someone says, I'm making the hardest survival sim ever made, they're going to fucking be fully on board with that shit.
Until the next one comes out, and it's going to be even more hardcore. Yeah.
So
locusts eat your eyeballs as soon as you step out of that.
Let me go through what happened to me, though, in my other 2 playthroughs. So the second one,
yes, please do.
I had the steep slope.
We're just getting started, people. Here we go.
Set off, right? Same as Duke. I thought, I can climb down here. No. And then I rolled and slid and rolled. And luckily I didn't die, though. So that was kind of cool. I thought I was going to end up impaled on a piece of wood or something. But I survived the fall. So that was kind of good. And I seemed to be in fairly good health. So I'm like, God, that could definitely have been worse. So I was doing all right. And then I found this like metal like a metal container thing.
A shipping container.
A shipping container that you could get inside of. So I went in there, had a route around. And then I looked out the window and it was snowing, right? And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, man, I've only just come in here and now it's snowing already. But I didn't have, there was no supplies to pick up in there. So I thought, right, I need to find a cabin where there's more shit. So but by the way, I took the firelighter the second time. Made no difference because there was no fire to light. So anyway, off a set, right? Gets back out into the wilderness. Blizzard. So it went from snowing to a blizzard, and I literally couldn't see.
It's being published by Blizzard.
Oh. Yeah, Blizzard. Couldn't see. I mean, I could literally see probably about a meter in front of me. Other than that, snow blind.
Yeah. A common theme in this game, not being able to see.
So I carried on walking for a bit. Then it got dark, and then obviously it got really cold. You died from hypothermia again. Yeah. And so I'm like, fucking fuck. Right, so I was like, right, fuck this, I'm going to do it again. I was a glutton for punishment, man.
Yeah. Apparently.
So,
what the hell?
So I started the game again, took the firelighter, worked out how to light fires, and then this was the best bit. What the fuck was I thinking, right?
I don't know.
So I set the fire alight in the cabin before I set off, just to make sure I knew how to do it, because there's already one set of it. So I set the fire alight.
That was fairly straightforward in the cabin.
Yeah. So I'm like, great, that's fine, know what to do. Right, I'll take all this like kindling and stuff out of the basket to take with me, then I can light a fire when I'm out in the wilderness. Press the wrong button and set that on fire as well. So I was just like, oh my God, I've just burned all the shit I needed to take with me. That's fine, because if I find a cabin, there'll be some stuff in the cabin. So off I go. So I'm like trekking around, sees a big cabin in the distance. I'm excellent. Gets to the cabin, they've got stuff to make a fire. It's starting to snow again. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be fucking caught out this time. So I went outside, shut all the shutters on the cabin. There was like loads of logs already chopped. So what I did was brought loads of logs into the cabin that I could feed the fire. Right, so I could, I had a stock of logs already waiting. Shut the shutters, got all them inside, loads of logs inside. I'm like, I'm doing all right here. Right, I'll set the fire alight. So I set the fire alight. So fire's burning. By the way, I started the generator so I'd have electricity and I could have a light inside the cabin. I was doing all right. I was really doing all right. So anyway, fire's roaring. Cabins are turned round to get some other stuff and sort some shit out. Turned back and the fire had gone out. I'm like, fuck! I'm going to have to try and start another fire now, right? So I was like, oh my God. Couldn't figure out how to get all the bits in the hearth properly. There was like a padded waterproof coat on top of there was like a wardrobe and it was on top of there. So I got that down, put that on. Well, that helped immensely. So I started getting warm. I'm like, well, this is doing all right. Tried to set another fire. Just set stuff afire and didn't actually build a fire. So I didn't have any fire. Stormblood. I made it till morning. Right, this is how well I did. Right, I made it till morning. I was still alive. I'm like, brilliant. Half of the roof on the cabin was gone, so we were getting cold. So I'm like, there's no point staying here. I need to find another cabin or somewhere else. So goes outside, sets off on me. And this is the longest playthrough I've had, without dying. And I'm like, doing all right here. Got like a bit further into the game. You've died of dehydration.
Brilliant.
So I'm just like, fuck. But I was kind of pleased it wasn't hypothermia for a change.
Yeah.
So
That's where it gets fun, is when you die of something else.
Die of something other than hypothermia. I was like,
Right.
so I felt like I'd achieved something at that point, and that's when I turned it off.
Okay. Well, I'm
So-
glad you felt like there was an achievement.
I don't think you'll be playing it again, Stu.
No.
No.
But I can kind of see why people are going to like this game.
People like
These hardcore nuts who
Yeah.
want the hardest survival sim ever made. They're going to kind of love it.
There's a Minecraft clone that's kind of like this. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like it takes you like 20 minutes to make your first axe or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because you have to like chisel the stone with another stone or something. Like it's insanely complicated. And I get that, some people find that satisfying.
Yeah.
And I can't judge them while I'm playing, another whatever.
By the way, I should have mentioned on my third playthrough, there was loads of fog. So it kept on being loads of fog.
Why should you mention that?
Well, it was just another extreme weather that they
Because
chucked
now that you
into the
mention it,
mix.
it makes me want to play the game.
I know, yeah. I couldn't
Oh,
see
you didn't
a
mention
thing.
fog.
Didn't even know which way we were
mean,
going anymore. The
that's
only way I
fine.
could have
I don't-
navigated was with the compass.
I don't hate the fact that there's fog in the game, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't stand this.
There's everything in this
thumbs
game
down
that
for
just
me.
wants to
Except
kill
fun.
you. Everything wants to kill you.
Except like wolves and
Yeah. I mean, by the way, no tutorial. There is no direction.
No,
on what
nothing.
To do, is it? Nothing.
Absolutely. It's not even close to pre-alpha.
No, I think that's on purpose.
No, I think this is it, dude.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I
great.
think that's generally on
Okay,
purpose.
well,
You've
fine.
got to figure this shit out.
No, I
It's
don't.
like,
It's
we're
the
not
kind
gonna
of
help
thing
you.
that a developer with infinite money would make, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
like, oh,
I just wanna
I'm gonna make a game with no
fuck people
tutorial.
up.
I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he can do what he wants.
You
let's be
carry on,
honest at this
Brendan.
point.
You carry on, mate.
He can do what
All
he
right. Well, I have
wants.
another game after this one to talk about, so let's wrap this up in terms of
Yeah.
way back.
I feel
Are
like
you
I've got to
actually
give
gonna
it
give
a
it a thumbs
thumbs
up?
I've got to give it a
What?
thumbs
Oh
up.
my god!
I feel
All
the
right,
fact
yeah.
that I played through it 3 times
Mental.
meant that I
You're
felt
part of
like
the
I
problem,
wanted-
Stu. You're part of this
I was part of
this
the
crew.
problem. I was-
You
that
talking
go,
about these other players?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
these
it's you.
people who are
It's
just
you.
they are nuts. They're so weird. Every
I
accusation
don't
is a
know.
confession.
I felt every time I got a little bit further, you know what I mean? I did make progress. It wasn't
I made
all
progress when I died of
died of
thirst.
dehydration
yeah.
instead
My
of
greatest moment in this game was
instead
dying
of
dehydration.
hypothermia. Yeah.
Right.
Died
Okay,
of
hey,
I'd
everyone
be
has their
like
own fun, as Jen
one of
Kirkman
those
said.
Steam reviews. Died of dehydration would play again.
See, when I found the hammer, I was like, all right, now we're gonna we're not gonna do anything with this. We're not gonna bash anything. We're not gonna have fun with it. We're just gonna have a hammer. for
I
the
mean,
sake
this
of having it.
by the way, this dude playing the demo hasn't even got out of the first cabin yet.
Oh, he
doesn't even-
sucks.
He sucks at this game, man. He hasn't even made any progress. Honestly.
Anyway, thumbs down from me, thumbs up from Stu. Chinny, you're the deciding vote.
let me think. Thumbs down from me, surprisingly.
Okay.
Piece of
Well,
I love the
moving
fact, right? Can we just say, this dude smashed all his window out and now he's boarding it back up.
There's already
Sure,
there's
you
already
gotta-
holes in
Hey,
them.
at least it's something fun to do.
There's already holes in them. That's why.
He's got a sense of accomplishment when yeah, those are broken. I think when the game
They're
starts.
all the glass was broken, Stu.
Yeah, true, I guess.
So anyway, enough of that game. One other game I want to talk about, which you also played, Stu.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about this.
This is called Cast and Chill,
Yeah, it is.
and I think this is the best game of Next Fest for me.
Yeah, I absolutely love this.
This is exactly what it says on the tin. It is an 8-bit 2D fishing game. You take your boat out, you catch some fish, you bring them back, you sell them, you get better bait, better lures, better rod,
Better rod.
longer line, stronger line, get bigger fish. It's awesome, and it's like the
Yeah,
graphics
you
are
know
very
what?
serene.
do you know what I loved? It didn't really give you any pointers where the fish were, so you had to kind of explore the area of water and work out. And I've looked at the map, and there's a lot of stuff on that map.
There's a lot of stuff on the
There's
map.
a lot of stuff on the map.
It comes out in like 2 days. I wish
Yeah.
listed it. I
Yeah,
can't wait.
same.
It's great.
It looked
Yeah.
great, and it is a chill. It was a totally chill game.
It comes out tomorrow, actually.
Does it?
Yeah,
I didn't
very
realize
chill.
it was that soon.
The graphics are great. The music is
Yeah, it is.
good. At one point, yeah, I went, to the furthest to the right as far as I could, pretty much. And there's this deer standing near the lake or whatever. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The background scenery is gorgeous.
There's a lot of detail.
a lot of detail, a lot of fun. Like, it's
Yeah, it's
nothing
all-
amazing in terms of gameplay. It's just fishing.
It's just
but-
lovely pixel art, though, isn't it?
Yeah, what it does it very, very well.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite. There was one lure I couldn't figure out how to use well because the other lures I would put them on, fish were attracted to it, and sometimes it took a little bit of jiggling, or they'd get away. I need a longer line or whatever it is. But one of the lures I just couldn't make heads or tails of it. But that's okay. I
Yeah,
didn't
because
really
some of
mind.
them you have to sort of lower and higher them, don't you, to sort of attract the fish. So I did all that. There was a spinning lure which I didn't give a go of, but spinning you have to sort of
I think that was the one I
cast and
couldn't
then
really get.
cast and then literally drag it in, and the fish will go
right,
for it because they
right,
think
right.
it's a
Yeah,
moving
maybe
fish.
I just didn't do it right or something. I don't know. But whatever.
yeah.
I just went to another lure and
This is
Yeah, I
good.
couldn't get
This
the big
is
fish though.
this is good artwork, isn't it? Jesus
It's
Christ!
very
beautiful.
good artwork.
It is
Yeah.
beautiful.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Wow.
I loved everything about this game. I love the graphics.
Yeah.
I love the
me
art
too.
style. I love the story. I
And,
love
and
the
as soon
guy.
as you get back into the dock, it just automatically sells your fish, and then you go back and buy
Yeah.
more
So
stuff.
it does what it says on the tin. Cast
It does
and
what
chill.
it says
does.
on the tin. It does
Wow.
very well. It's very chill, and just beautiful. I just really liked it.
I did.
Have you
Yeah,
added it
it's
on
very
your
thumbs
wish
up.
lists?
It
I
was on my
have.
wish list. Yeah, I'm gonna
So
get it
listen,
tomorrow.
do you know what
when it
that
comes
is?
out.
Do you know what that is?
Depending on how much it
Mike?
is.
It's
Do we know
too
how much it's gonna be?
complicated of a
No
process.
idea.
I don't know what that is.
I
Yeah,
can't
no,
imagine it's going to be more than a tenner. I would imagine
It
this is
better
a
not be
fairly
more than 10. Yeah.
reasonably priced game. Do you know?
Yeah.
I'd probably pay £15 for this. I reckon I'd go as high as
God.
15 quid. Because I feel like
I may or may
someone's
not
put
pay
a
that much.
put a lot of love and effort into it, haven't they?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
So that's
I
our
had-
Steam Next
Yeah.
Fest for this year.
It is. I have
World
got.
of Keflings is coming to Steam, which is awesome. I'm very
I
excited about
remember that
that.
game. Yeah.
And I play one called Lost Rift, which it's Steam meets Valheim, or Rust meets Valheim, and it's not great. It's good graphics, but
Well,
another survival crafting game. Go ahead.
I've
Stu.
got one more to talk about, which I will save till next week because it's a biggie.
Yeah.
Yes, I
So
played that
what's
a little
that?
bit too, so I will be happy to talk about.
So have you
that.
played Stellar Blade as well?
I played a little bit of Stellar Blade. Yes.
I'm quite impressed. I'm quite sure. I definitely don't think you'll like the art style of the ladies'
I
clothing,
hate the
shall
art
we say.
style, matter of fact. It is the male gaze personified.
It is. It's terrible. But
If you like Sabrina Carpenter's new album cover, you're gonna like Stellar Blade.
yeah, you'll definitely love it. But we'll talk about that next week. We'll save that
Talk
for
about
next
it
week.
next week. Yes.
Okay. We have got one email this week,
We got news.
So-
though. We got
yeah.
news.
and we have. Shall we
Uh-oh.
do a quick? There is a
Got
quick
some
bit of news.
news.
Let's talk about news.
Putting news first.
I
So
think
yes,
we got to talk
news. We
about
have.
Mind's Eye.
Mind's Eye. We have got to talk
What
about
is
Mind's
Mind's Eye?
Eye.
But that what you said there, Duke, whatever, one of you white people, I don't know which one. He's bang on, right? So Mind's
Okay.
Eye is a video fucking game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's got this big budget. I'm gonna play it on the stream in a sec. It's got this big
Yeah.
budget. Look, the intro
It
is
was-
ridiculous and all
Is
this
it coming
stuff.
from the
Compared to-
U.S., Europe?
Compared to
Japan,
GTA.
It's one of the developers, one of the ex-developers of GTA, of Rockstar,
Yeah.
Okay.
right?
I
It's
Yeah.
got some serious weight behind it. And you watch the trailer.
It's got chops, man.
It's got, and you're like, fucking hell, why do I not know what this game is? This game looks like a fucking beast of a game. And
Yeah,
it
I'd
has-
heard about it, by the way, prior to all this stuff. So I
Yeah,
had
we
heard
all
about
have
this
to.
game.
We're all cultured. We
I
all
hadn't
know
heard about it.
things.
Yeah.
Anyway, Duke hasn't heard about it because he didn't have
Duke
craft,
hasn't.
yeah,
I don't
didn't
know
have no
anything.
crafting in it. So, so it's
Piece of
a
shit.
short version of it. It's kind of like a futuristic GTA, but there's a sort of single play element to it. They've teased that there's like an MMO sort of angle to it. No one really sort of knows what it is. But luckily, it's a piece of shit because it's been released and
unfinished, man.
Unfinished.
No.
Unfinished. You talk about Cyberpunk.
Really?
This has taken
Yeah.
Cyberpunk's penis off and shoved it up its own. I don't know what I was going to say, but like
Wow.
things like the driving, the wheels don't turn. You know,
Yeah.
like
No.
things like that. It's an
Damn.
absolute mess of a launch.
It's that bad, right, that they had sponsored streamers to play it for them, to sort of show it off how
yeah, yeah.
amazing it was. And they cancelled all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one of them went ahead and played it anyway, regardless of the fact it had been cancelled, because he was just like, fuck it, I'm
yeah.
going to play it. And he just spent the entire stream pissing himself while he were playing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, it was that bad. He just couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, like things like
He
this,
just
like the
couldn't stop laughing.
NPCs froze into place until you shoot them. Cars jump in randomly for no reason. Like it does evoke the same sort of nonsense that we enjoyed
I think
with
it's
Cyberpunk.
way worse than Cyberpunk, though. I mean,
Yeah, but it's like that air. It's that elk, isn't
I
it?
played Cyberpunk and I had some issues, but it was nowhere near as bad as this.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I know video games are hard and all that sort of stuff, but that's not my problem, right? Like,
No, it isn't.
You release the game, it's gotta be good. So it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. I was never that excited about it, even when I watched the trailer, because I was never really.
wasn't.
I was never really sold on what it was really. Like, and I still don't really know what it is.
Do you know when a game has failed? A game has failed badly when Sony are giving refunds for it.
Oh yeah, that's the
Because
ultimate.
Sony do not give. I mean, look at the character models; they're fucking hideous, aren't they?
It's not even that. It's just like, it's just the way they move and the world. There's a lot of things wrong. There's a lot of things wrong.
There's a lot of things wrong with this game.
Yeah. So
Like everything is wrong with this game.
everything. Another
just
couple of quick
awful.
new things. High on Life 2 got announced. Another Plague Tale game was announced, but it's not the normal story. It's kind of like a side
No, it's
story.
a prequel, isn't
It's like
it?
a prequel.
It's going to be a prequel.
But the other thing I suppose we should talk about is the Xbox Ally has been announced. Do we know what this
Yeah.
is? The Xbox
So
Ally.
basically, it's a ROG Ally like handheld gaming PC
Yes.
with kind of Xbox branding.
Is it
really.
Ally or Ally?
I always call it an Ally, ROG Ally.
Okay.
So, but I could be wrong. Could be Ally.
Whatever.
Don't know.
One of them.
Yeah, so that's all. So that's basically what it is. So it's been optimized as well. So they've optimized the operating system, and apparently, from what I've heard, they've finally nailed Windows on a handheld gaming PC, because that's been, I mean, it's been so bad that I can't. What's the other one? Not the ROG Ally, but the other handheld gaming PC has got Steam, has got Steam on it now. So they've got their operating system on it rather than having the Windows on it. So they've done that. That's how bad it was.
Well, I mean, you need a different OS. Windows was never designed to be on a small device.
Apparently they've nailed it on this.
All right, I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, I'm
So
not saying
rather
it's
than
impossible.
Xbox make their own, they have gone into partnership to make a branded version of it. But apparently it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. I think it all, like everything else, it all depends on price point. It depends what they're going
Yeah,
to
it
try
will do.
charging
It
for
will
this
do.
bloody thing.
But I'm not big into handheld gaming, but you know what would sell me? A little Xbox handheld thing.
Yeah, but you've got that with Steam Deck already.
Yeah, but I don't like
so
Steam.
Why do you need
I
it?
don't like Steam.
Yeah, but you don't need Steam. You can just play Game Pass on it.
No, yeah, but on the cloud.
Yeah, it has to be on the cloud. You can't download it. Whereas with this, you can download games directly to
Because
it.
it's got 1 terabyte, bitches.
Yeah, it does. Bitches.
Yeah.
Hour of X.
So I'm colour me interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Colour me
Jimmy's finally
interested.
interested in a handheld gaming device.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, a handheld, I just don't have a use for a handheld. Like, when I'm at home, I'm ready to play. And when I'm, traveling, I don't have time for handheld gaming.
I'll
But
be honest.
Other people,
I'm going to be honest
like
here.
that freedom.
My
Sit where
Steam
you
Deck
are.
has been neglected since I got the new gaming laptop.
Of course.
It does.
It's not like you
there-
to put one piece of tech to the side when a new piece of tech comes along.
Can I just say something, though? Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
Right. Okay. I have got 32 gigs of RAM. Right. I've
In your
got
gaming
an
PC, you mean.
R9 processor It's got a 4070 graphics card in there.
Yes.
And this, with all of that shit, is struggling with most Unreal Engine 5 games.
Yeah, because Unreal Engine 5 is shite.
They're not struggling. I mean, it's running them on max settings and it looks beautiful.
How many
But
frames
this
per second?
frame drops. Yes, no, it's been, even that's been fine, like 55 to 60 frames a second. Stellar Blade, completely maxed out. But it keeps dropping frames. So you'll be playing a game and all of a sudden it'll just jitter and then carry on like nothing happened. And I'm like, but it's only Unreal Engine 5 games it does that with.
Because it's a piece of shit.
Sounds like it's not a great system then. Not
Well,
your
it's not-
system.
it's-
I'm talking about the
yeah,
game. I'm
yeah,
talking about the
Unreal
game.
Engine
The
5
engine
is-
just
Right, the
PC
engine,
gamers
right, the
hate Unreal Engine 5. It just doesn't run.
Yeah.
Just doesn't run.
I mean, there's dudes like with a desktop with like a 4090 and going, I'm having trouble running this game.
See, that's the thing, man. This is the thing that bugged me since I first started gaming. This notion of like the next thing is going to look better, and I don't care if it doesn't perform as well. Like, I know that's not always the case, thank God, and we've certainly seen it improve in PC gaming over the last few years. But, you know, yeah, if Unreal Engine 5 doesn't work very well, I don't care that it looks better. It looks nominally better than the last engine. Like, whatever. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like
fluidity
Unreal
of
Engine
game.
5 looks actually really. I mean, if they optimize it,
Hey.
I think it looks amazing.
More power to you. You want to look at it with the dropped frames? Go for it. I'm not interested.
Yeah, that's the problem. But it's not all the time. It'll just every now and again you'll just get like a bit of a jitter. You know, and then it'll
Well,
carry on.
see,
like
that's
it
the
didn't
thing.
happen.
For me, it's like, you know, it's like Obsidian, or not Obsidian, Bethesda games. Like, you know that there's a crashed desktop just around the corner. You never know when it's going to happen. It's always a possibility. And in a way, that suspense is part of what makes it really annoying. So I would think the same thing would annoy me with jittery, you know, frame drops. or
Anyway,
whatever. But
that's news, by the way.
That's
So
the
that's
news.
we're done with the news.
Done with the
yes, we
news.
are. Is it time for emails now?
It
Please,
is.
sir, could I have some emails?
Whoa, that ruled.
Gosh, Stu.
Okay, so the one and only email we have this evening is, of course, from Jason. And he says it's 10 billion problems, but GameStop ain't one.
Okay.
Sure.
They have $10 billion in cash
Who's
because
they?
GameStop,
They.
man.
Okay.
They ain't
I
got
don't think they do.
games. They have $10 billion in cash because they shafted me on trade-ins, but that's okay. I'm ready to hear their big announcements. They could buy a lot of golden farts with $10 billion. What do you guys think? Arcades, online marketplace, and new console game studios? So
I always
apparently
want
GameStop's-
to answer Jason Gallagher. I always want to engage with whatever he's talking about, but I have no idea what he's talking about, and he doesn't seem to care that people don't know what he's talking about.
Well,
I think he
what
enjoys
he's-
that he doesn't.
Frustrating to
Yeah.
me.
But he's alluding, I don't know, he's saying that GameStop has $10 billion apparently.
But does it?
I don't know.
Does anybody? I don't know.
Where does
I
he
don't
get
know.
that from? I just
I
did a
don't know.
search for GameStop 10 billion, and I don't see anything about that.
No.
I don't know.
I see, will GameStop's Bitcoin swing, this is from Yahoo Finance, will GameStop's Bitcoin swing be a home run or an epic fail? What? They're going into Bitcoin now?
I think they've been
the
doing
heck?
that for a while.
10
yeah.
billion, baby.
Trading cards play a big role in CEO Ryan Cohen's vision for GameStop's future. Ugh. I didn't even know they still had a CEO. I thought it was trading at like $1 a share or something.
Oh, you're joking? People keep on doing this artificially inflated share price.
But what is it
shit,
at
don't they?
now?
I don't know.
Let me look. GME right now, $22.14 per share, which one year? It's crazy down.
Don't know.
It was at 35 recently. It's just, it's not going back up, people. It spiked
Anyway.
in 2021. Go ahead.
Anyway, Stu played a demo for Kern. Achieved the ascent of a lifetime. Don't know even know what that is. I will look it up though, Jason. I'm looking at Way of the Hunter. It's a legitimate hunting simulator.
All right.
The animation is amazing. The ultimate duck hunt game. But I missed a $7 sale, dough. Dope. Hey, I gotta go shout out all the numpties that moved here and forced real estate prices to destroy our paychecks.
Amen.
My dog used to eat. Hold up a minute, though, Jason. Right. So has the price of property gone up in your area? Is that what this means? Is that what
See,
you're
isn't
saying?
it frustrating when you can't tell what he's talking about?
Say all numpties that moved here and forced real estate prices to destroy our paychecks.
That's my assumption.
Yeah, but if you already live there, is that not good for you if your property's suddenly worth more money?
Well, if you want to sell it, it is. But if it's just a matter of the taxes going up, then no.
Yeah, I don't know how that. I mean, I don't know how it works in the US. Does it? If your price,
You
of
get
your
shafted
house
with
go
like council tax in the UK. I don't know if you get a big house or.
Yeah, I mean, what happens over there if the value of your house goes up? Do you get charged more tax?
Well, yeah. I mean, often it does. I mean, doesn't that happen there?
No.
It depends
So
on the
value
size
your
of it.
price goes, there's no downside.
Nope. So it's based on the size of your property
The size of
rather
your
than
property,
the
yeah.
value. So
Okay,
it's sort of, so your council tax is based on how big your property is. It's not, so if you buy a property for, say, I don't know, £50,000, but then in 20 years it's worth £400,000, you don't get charged, you don't get put in a different banding for your council tax. So the amount of tax you pay is exactly the same as if it was 50,000.
You know, I mean, I don't know how it works there, but you know, my assumption is that more people in an area requires more, you know, water and sewage hookups and more, you know, road maintenance, more policing, more fire protection, and therefore your property taxes are probably going to go up.
What's that got to do with the
That's my
value
guess.
of the house going up, though? That's just
Well,
population,
I mean,
isn't it?
but then presumably it's related. I mean, it might not. I don't know. Read the sentence again. I don't want to put words in his mouth.
So he played. I've got to shout out the numpties that moved here and forced real estate prices to destroy our paychecks.
Okay, so maybe he's renting. That's the thing. If you're renting,
if you're
then
Oh yeah,
landlords
that'll
are
make a big
gonna.
difference.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I suppose if you own, then yeah, it's good if your property value goes up.
Anyway, he does say my dog
Anyway.
used to eat steak a lot more often. Now she settles for overpriced chicken jerky and cheap video games. $80 for a game? Suck it, inflation. Death Stranding 2, maybe though. Jason.
Don't feed video games to your dog.
Yeah, don't feed video games to your dog.
Eat them yourself.
Yeah, eat them yourself.
Yeah,
Man. Put a
give
bit
the
of
chicken to
jam
your
on.
dog, and then you eat the. video.
Fine. Right, before we go, we have got a speak pipe off Not
We
Derek.
have got a
It's not
speak
Derek.
pipe.
Pipe, it's the way to leave a message. For
Boy, I really hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
All right, we have one speak pipe, and it comes from Saint Diesel, as always. Thank you, Saint Diesel, for writing in. It is speak pipe number 759, and it's called "Nurtured by Nature."
Hey, veteran gamers, I thought I'd try something a bit different this week. I'm giving you an on-location report from Blythe, Northumberland, which, if anyone doesn't know, it's a small coastal town on the east coast of Northumberland, which is the most northern county in England. And I come here maybe every 3 or 4 months just to have a look at the scenery, look at the sea, have a wander around the town, visit some of the shops, and basically just decompress, get away from the suburbs of Newcastle upon Tyne where I live. It's about a 45-minute bus journey from where I live. And I'm looking out over the North Sea at the moment. To my left there's a large three-winged windmill, which is powered by electricity, I guess, because it's certainly not windy. To my right there's a large metal sculpture. I'm not really sure what it represents. And behind me to my right there's a pub or an inn, which, who knows, I might go in there after recording this. But it's a misty, cool day today, and it's quiet and Blythe. It's a pretty sleepy town. It's somewhere I can decompress. And I was just thinking, if there's any question for you, are there any places near you that you think, yeah, it'd be nice to spend the day there, or the afternoon with the family or friends, or just by yourself? I think gamers sometimes have the reputation of being stuck in the house and not going outside. And that's it for this week.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you, Saint Diesel. Yeah, I mean, there's a place near us called Devil's Lake, which is a pretty nice area
Sounds
to go
lovely.
for a hike or whatever.
It
yeah,
does.
The,
Sounds a bit
the
dodgy
devil
as
lives
well.
there, so that's good. You
That's
know.
nice. Oh, it's nice that he pops up, isn't it?
Well, he doesn't. He doesn't come out when you're there. He hides,
Well,
but we
it's-
know he's there. Like he's around.
Sounds like a bit of a pussy, really, this devil, doesn't he?
Well, he's busy. It's not that you need to be mean about him. He's got a lot going on. He's the devil.
All right, fair enough.
Trying to get in our children's minds through LGBTQ content.
Yes, yeah, he's busy at the moment. Yeah.
The devil's always busy.
Yep. And the devil is a liar.
Where do you go, Stu?
Oh, we go all over the place. I'm lucky. I live in a really nice part of the country, so we can be in the Lake
Have
District
you
in
moved?
40
Have you
minutes.
moved? Or
No, don't be so fucking rude. So we can be in the Lake District in 40 minutes. We can be in the Yorkshire Dales in 40 minutes. We can, I mean, even just in our local area, we've got like Rivington Pike. We've got loads of really big parks. Lots. I mean, I quite often go to where I grew up, which is a little village called Maudsley, because I know loads of like nice circular walks around that area, and it's all fields and really nice farmland and like just lovely places to walk through. We go to Lytham quite on a regular basis, which is a really nice place to go if you want the seaside. We go to Fleetwood, but like the bottom end.
I knew a guy named Mac from there.
Yeah, indeed. The bottom end's horrendous, but if you go past all the scuzzy industrial fishing stuff and get to the top end of Fleetwood,
that's where I
it's
go to
lovely.
relax, is the industrial estate.
Yeah. It's lovely to walk along there. You can walk for miles along the beach, and it's like beautiful coastline. So there is loads of places around our local area where we spend time. We do a lot of walking, so we do go to we try and get out. When I'm on my weekend off, we always try and go at least, to a couple of places over the weekend and have a nice walk. Sometimes a picnic, depends on the weather.
Chinny, what about you?
Just in this room, pretty much is where.
It's a nice
in
room.
this room. I'm pretty happy. Where do we go? Stratford upon Avon is probably mine, isn't it? I go there.
Yeah. I said that today when I said we were going. I'm like, oh, Ginny loves her.
I'm always there. I'm always hanging out there. You're in Stratford upon Avon. Just look around. You might see me there.
Shakespeare country.
Don't give a fuck about Shakespeare, but like it there. Don't know really. I mean, we
It's
do.
got, by the way, Stratford upon Avon's got the coolest McDonald's.
It's the
That's what it's best known for, really.
Stupidest McDonald's.
Well, no, because it's obviously it has to fit into the surroundings,
Yeah, I
so
know,
it's got this kind of cool gold M sign and stuff, and it's made to look like all the other buildings and what have you. So it is kind of cool.
I'm like Wolverhampton is one of those cities that we're sort of right on the edge of the countryside, really. Like we're very close to the border of Wales.
Near the Cotswolds, aren't you? And what
Near
have
the
you, really? It's not
Cotswolds,
that far.
yeah. So.
And then you've got Peak District to the north.
Yeah.
So again, you're in a pretty good place as well, aren't you?
Where I am
you
is
can
good.
get to Wales.
Is good if you want to go anywhere other than east.
Where you are.
East is a long way to the coast.
Like Peterborough, Norwich. If you want to go there from where I am, it's fucking far. It's really far for you, Stu. But like it's
a long way to
such
Norwich.
a pain in the arse to get to like Peterborough and Norwich, but. Yeah, where I am is like it's easy to get to London, Manchester, Scotland, even as large as trains and stuff. Wales.
You see, I've always fancied going to the Norfolk Broads, but that's so. Every time I look, it's like 6 hours, and I'm like,
so far.
Nah.
So
and
far.
then I was like, oh, it's horrible. It's flat. There's nothing to see. So I'm just like, it put me off.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to think if we go anywhere regular, but like, not really. We go. I don't know. Just like this Bridge North is quite near. That's nice. Don't know. We don't relax.
You see, we go to loads of places. We go to like Hay Hall. I mean, when Millie was probably
Hay Hall.
Rose's age, we went somewhere every weekend. We took her out every
Good for you.
weekend
You're a better
somewhere.
parent than me. Is that what you want to hear? Or?
You know what I mean?
Much.
We got.
Is that what you want to know?
You didn't take Millie to some scary dragon monster that ran
No, I
after
definitely
her
didn't.
and gave
No, I
her
didn't.
night terrors.
No, it was
Yeah, because
Pansy the dolphin. She loved it.
Yeah, we never did that.
In the
Definitely didn't do
abstract.
that.
We've took her to
but yeah,
Gran
I used to
Canaria.
have
You
a-
never took your baby to abroad.
true.
Yeah, because like some kids are too young to take abroad. I don't.
Yeah,
think
but
you
we
should
still
really
did
take
it. So don't give me
and
shit about
expo-
not doing my
expose
bit.
them to a hot sunlight and
Oh.
Hot sunlight. Oh, you should keep your baby in a cave is the better thing to do.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't want your baby exposed to the hot
You never heard of
sunlight.
you never heard of covering up and sun creams, yeah?
yeah, exposing potentially
That's bad
high
parenting
risk,
there.
high risk
Hot
ultraviolet
sunlight.
light. Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do that.
So basically, every parent that takes their child under 4 on holiday
Keep it
is
in a
bad
cave
parent.
until it's 10.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's fine in this country because with the shit British weather, it's unlikely to happen.
We can get harmful UV rays in this country.
You can't.
Especially if you keep burning all the fossil
But
fuels.
yeah, I used to have a rucksack carrier thing, and they used to stick her in that, and off we went.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you could go anywhere
Okay.
you could yourself.
They're just like a closed bag. Not one she could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She used to have a head
Actual
just-
never
just
touched photo of sack.
zipped up to her
Yeah,
neck
yeah.
here.
Like,
You know
one
what
of
I
those
mean?
drawstrings and just go
Yeah,
like that.
There
There
it
you go.
is.
She's fine.
Suck her in.
All
Sorry.
right.
She's fine.
And now it's time for
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
I'll go first.
Shout out. Go.
I want to shout out Antonio because his dog died suddenly recently.
No.
I saw
It
that.
sucks so bad. He posted it on
Very sad.
Instagram. A very sweet dog. I can't remember the name of the dog now. What was the dog's name? Sorry,
Rover.
Antonio, I'm
It
spacing.
was Rover.
No, it wasn't Rover. GH Rocker. He's not GH Rocker. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Hang on a second, GH Rocker.
Please hold.
Yeah.
We'll get to you eventually.
Nessie. His dog's
Yeah,
name
it wasn't
is
Nessie. I did see it today. I saw it today.
Yeah, sorry,
Very
Antonio. That
sad.
really sucks. It's painful. You know, these furry friends are a part of our family, and we lost our Tito almost 2 years ago now, and we still haven't gotten a new dog yet because it's just still kind of raw. But the joy now is part of the pain then, and vice versa, right? That's what they say in the movie Shadowlands, and so big hugs to him. And shout out also to Amar, who this week he was sending me all these things, and I was like, dude, you're like Boyle on Brooklyn Nine-Nine with your texting. And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm shooting for.
Yeah.
And he sent me a picture of Boyle. I'm like, that's not a good thing, man. Like, take it easy. But whatever.
He's
I
leaning
love getting
into
texts
it.
from Amar.
He's leaning
He is
into
leaning into it, and it's cute. Shout out to the Duchess because she rocks, and she harvested like a 5-gallon bucket of strawberries. So we got all the strawberries we can eat right now, which is awesome. And shout out to my doctor who's going to help me get this blood pressure under control because I keep getting high blood pressure readings. So she's putting me on meds. Yeah, I'm going to take meds starting tomorrow. so we'll
Ramapril
see.
sticking you on that
Nah,
thing.
it starts with an I. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm going to get it tomorrow and start taking it, and hopefully it'll help. I don't really feel that bad, but I know it's not good to have high blood pressure.
I was going to say
and
that's
the
the
problem.
trouble with blood
Well, the
pressure.
problem
'cause
is
you
that
don't know.
Right. The problem is also that, like I'm sure the stress of teaching has not helped. And so what I need is less stress in my life. But when I have so I got a cuff to measure my blood pressure, the high readings are causing me to be stressed and anxious. And so like that makes it hard to sleep. And so therefore I don't feel as well. And so it's just this never ending cycle. So finally I was like, look, doc, you got to help me with something. And so she's like, all right, here's this medicine. We'll try it. And then I'm looking at it and it's like, here are all the possible side effects. I'm like, God, I don't want to deal with any of that. But
Kidney failure is the usual one with blood pressure tablets.
we're going to hope that nothing bad happens and take it one step at a time, see what's next. So,
Yeah, I take a thing called Entresto, which is
okay.
Sounds like a Harry Potter spell.
I know, yeah, heart failure
Entresto.
and blood pressure. But my blood pressure readings usually now, since I've been taking this, are around 110/65 or around that.
Yeah.
So like super low. So I never get stressed anymore.
Sure, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, that plus the beta blockers, perfect. Right, I'm going to shout out Antonio also. I'm really sorry for your loss, mate. Everyone says, oh, it's only a dog or whatever, but it's like part of the family, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like an extension of your family. It's not just a dog. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, so I feel your pain, mate. And obviously, I'll shout out Armar. I had a little bit of bants with him. He sent me a screenshot or a video of the intro to a Zelda game from 1991.
Yeah, he sent me a Wind Waker. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like
and it was
running
just
on
the intro video, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, I sent a shrug emoji, and he's like, it's Wind Waker, the greatest Zelda game.
Yeah,
like, okay,
on the Switch 2, the remake or
right,
whatever
sure,
it is, or
remake,
I don't know, enhanced.
Which I
or
mean, look,
whatever
yeah,
it is.
if you have that connection to, like, if I were to, suddenly, on my phone had Final Fantasy VII, then I'd probably have the nostalgia, starry feeling. But I don't.
So I sent him a message back and said, "Wow, is that running on UE5? Question mark."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Very funny." And then we had a bit of a to and fro and decided that Unreal Engine 5 shit anyway. So there you go. So that's my shout outs. Chitty, finally over to you.
Yes, Armar sent me the same message. And I said, cool.
Who is this? New number. Who this?
No, I knew that he was running it on his Switch too. So I like Wind Waker. So I said, that's cool. I want to play that again. That's it really. I'll shout out to the chat. Shout out to the people in the chat. Night Law, Ian, GH Rocker. That's about it. We're a quiet one. There's been a few lurkers, but no chatters. Got to shout out the Patreons. We do have a Patreon. We do. I promise you, we do. So let's have a quick look at those. Got to shout them out. Let's have a look. I've got to click this, and I've got to
Give us some money!
Click that.
We don't actually need money. We appreciate people giving it to us.
No, we don't
it
need.
Goes to keep the lights on.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you something that you two don't know that we can discuss. I have been working on a little website for us again.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be a landing page.
It is. Yeah. It's very simple. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just got 45 pages. It's just nice and simple. Yeah. No, it is. It's just going to be basically a splash page with. Okay. There are a few other pages, but I'm not going crazy. So yes. So that'll pay for that.
Okay.
It'll also pay for hosting of the show. It's paying for the Zoom that we use, so we can record it, and
even when someone's away, we can still have it.
It keeps the lights on, man. Keeps the lights on.
So we're not asking for loads. We don't need loads, but we've got 12 Patreon.
We appreciate you help, so we don't have to pay for this show to keep it going.
So here they are. It's Connor, Seth, Value, Sean Thiel, Dan, Adam Birmingham, Armar, Christian, Matt Nation, Robert Wilcox, Jake Peterson, and Nigel Strut. So thank you very much.
They're giving you thousands of hours of entertainment for free. What could they possibly owe you? I mean, if anything, you owe them.
Yeah. So there's not a lot going on the Patreon.
By the way, can we just say 17 years of free entertainment?
17 years.
17 years, people.
You better recognize.
So we should do more. Maybe we could do a monthly shoot the shit episode, but we haven't. So.
And I don't hear anyone complaining. So, whatever. Maybe.
All right.
It would be nice, but it's also nice to not do that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? We done?
No, I think we're done.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
Thank you, good much love.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Won't you? Instead, sitting at home, watch TV, burning up slow cooks of the
And another show is in the can.
It is. I switched over, by the way, to my earphones.
I saw you.
Yeah, plugged out. I thought, I wonder if it's that. Rather than using USB headphones, I'll try some plug directly into the. Yeah, it made no difference.
No.
Oh man,
it's got to be the laptop. It's got to be the laptop.
I don't know whether it's because I've got it set up as dual screen. Maybe that's it.
Don't be silly.
I have my PC as dual screen.
Yeah,
I got like 4 screens. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't understand what it is though. I mean, I've tried everything.
Right, let me stop the stream. Say goodbye.